One more vehicle-related thing. The trains on Vikendi have gotten a new vertical line on the map, which should give more options for use. Some trains will now also make an additional stop before reversing direction, and we've added new indicators for when trains are arriving and departing. Players dropping with their team can once again utilize the parachute follow feature, which was previously disabled pending some improvements, to stick close to their group without having to maneuver there manually. From the pre-match countdown to before the drop, you can select a teammate to follow to the grounds. This can be cancelled on the map screen by holding F while in the plane or while following the player in your chute. Finally, the Esports menu has been updated in preparation for PCS1. Here you'll be able to find an overview, team standings, and the next iteration of the Pick'em Challenge. We'll be talking about PCS1 and the Pick'em Challenge more soon, so keep your eye on PUBG channels for more information. Update 7.3 is available now on PC test servers, so drop in and check out everything new.
The kick that it holds, the level 3 gear that he's going to control as well.
Wow.
But what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Okay, that's a bit weird, but whatever. Jumps into the back of the...
Just yet, so 3 of 3 creeping by, and oh my god, we're getting a demolition derby coming in here. Honey Badger finding himself in a little bit of trouble, so trying to see if he can maybe get out of this position, but reinforcements rolling through as it is just a drive-by right on top of Pintalol. He gets dropped out of his vehicle, and Landoon says, hey, I'll come by.
To confirm, back into the circle. They were struggling to get off of Everest. Look at the nades coming in. Oh my god! This looks pretty rough for Bahamut Gaming. Nice nades from Haisaki and...
여우 선수가 있습니다. 왼쪽 오른쪽 위에서 체력이 좀 많이 빠졌어요.
6발이라도 눕힐 수 있어요 이건.
야!
Catch you off guard, so Yaxley might be in a bit of trouble, but Oath is driving themselves right into Victor. He's hiding behind this rock. Can he find that Knock doesn't? We're just gonna go ahead and crash onto this rock, but Wolf is immediately taken down. Balefrost looks for it, but he falls himself. Oh.
主动直接主要是这一波灵性拉房檐，其实说实话，主要是 4M 听到了脚步声，这一波提前枪，对方是赶紧侧身绕了回去。没想到是怎么楼上还有人啊！进来了，高点一个，这一波。
And now just Squeaky Dance. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Now a 1v3. Not a step too far, I feel. Ooh, hello, Squeaky, let's go. Let's go on the 1v2. Show me what you got. Surely he doesn't get another chance. You can deny all the... Squeaky, you're an animal. Do it, Squeaky, please. Just do it.
If he does this.
Oh my god, the Micah. The nade comes out, the flush comes in. Micah's got an AK to hand, he's just on the right side. He might have the off angle. Squeaky doesn't... Oh my god!
Welcome back, survivors. One of the most requested features from the community has been a proper ranked mode, where players can put their skills to the test against others. We're happy to announce that an official ranked mode is finally coming to PUBG with update 7.2. But what is ranked mode? How do you play it? And what else do you need to know? Let's dive in and take a look. Ranked mode replaces the old survival title system, and is a separate queue from normal PUBG matches, featuring its own unique characteristics and rule set. To play a ranked match, navigate to the play button on the main menu, and find the ranked button in the sub-menu. In an effort to keep cheating out of ranked play, you'll need to link an SMS device before you're allowed to participate. Ranked games have a maximum of 64 players, and can be played in FPP or TPP squads, though players do have the option of going in with fewer than 4 people. You'll first need to play 5 placement matches to determine your starting tier and division. Tiers progress from bronze to silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and master, with 5 divisions between each tier. As you play games, you'll earn and lose rank points, or RP, which move you up and down the rankings. Once you reach the end of Division 1 in any tier, your next win will promote you to the lowest division of the next tier. But be aware that poor performance can also lower your rank. When a game starts, your map will be randomly selected from Erangel, Miramar, or Sanhok. Ranked matches have their own rule set, which pulls from both normal and esports super settings. These settings mean more loot, a heavier focus on competitive weapons like ARs, altered blue zone settings to encourage more conflicts, and by very popular demand, no red zones. To check out the full rule set, visit our ranked mode dev letter linked below. Now that you know how you'll be fighting, let's dive into what's at stake. Ranked mode features unique rewards that you can't get anywhere else, and you start to earn them by simply finishing your placement matches. These initial rewards are special add-ons for your PUBG ID, but the bulk of the rewards are earned once you reach gold tier and consist of unique skins with a competitive ranked theme. For those who go above and beyond, there's a special PUBG ID reward for ranked players who finish in the top 500 of their territory. You can check out our new and improved leaderboard to see where everyone stands and how they got there. We've put a lot of thought into how to make ranked mode great, and your feedback has been invaluable here as well. A couple other things to go over before we wrap up. First of all, we want to reiterate that bots will not be in any ranked games. And as we stated before, we're putting a stronger focus on authentication to help prevent cheating. This means you might have to connect to your account to a cell phone or reach a certain level of mastery before being able to play ranked. We hope these measures will help keep ranked matches focused on pure competitive gameplay and skill. Ranked mode is coming with update 7.2, so get the squad together and get ready to show the battlegrounds what you're made of.
안녕하세요. 大家好. Xin chào tất cả các bạn.
Oi PUBG Esports fans.
Hi PUBG Esports fans.
4개의 권역의 최강자를 가리는 PUBG Esports 대회.
Vòng khu vực APEC. PUBG Continental Series 1 North America Grand Final. PCSE Đông Á Châu Chi賽.
PUBG Continental Series for Europe.
World Cup June 25th.
6월 26일 개막합니다.
Kommer starta 27 juni.
2 hafta boyunca Perşembe ve Pazar günleri arasında devam edecek bir maç programımız var. Kaçırmayın.
大家多多支持，多多收看。
Mark your calendar and stay tuned.
Отметьте даты в своем календаре и будьте готовы.
CS1 많은 응원과 시청 부탁드려요.
冠军竞赛活动现已回归。
The Pick'em Challenge is back. コンソールは6月23日からオープンします。
Các bạn có thể tham gia dự đoán đội vô địch trực tiếp ở trong game.
Bạn sẽ nhận được 6 lượt bình chọn khi mua vật phẩm BCS One.
และรายการดูไลฟ์สตรีมสดเนี่ยก็สามารถลุ้นรับตลอดทายผลนะครับผม
记得准时收看 PCSE 东亚洲际赛
PCS1 잊지 말고 시청해주세요.
Так что оставайтесь дома и следите за PKS1.
You can get a maximum of 7 coupons, including 1 free coupon.
If
you click the Esports tab from our game lobby,
팀 정보와 PCS1 매치별 스탯 그리고 실시간 순위까지 확인하실 수 있습니다.
Äänestä joukkueita, joista tykkäät.
ถ้าเพื่อนๆทายถูกเพื่อนๆก็จะได้รับสกิน PCS สีทองสุดลิมิเต็ด
Stay home and
watch PUBG Esports 记得待在家看 PUBG 比赛 Stay home and watch PUBG Esports
Bliv hjemme og se noget dejligt PUBG Esports.
Bliv hjemme og se på PUBG Esports.
So make sure you stay home og se PUBG Esports.
Stay home, stay safe, and let's get that chicken dinner.
Update 7.3 has arrived and brings an explosive new weapon, some new updates to vehicle balance, quality of life changes for landing with your team, and an update to the esports menu. Let's get right into it. The first update is the addition of C4, a brand new explosive that sticks to most surfaces. Once its long timer finishes, this powerful explosive deals damage to everything within a 25-meter radius, both horizontally and vertically. C4 isn't meant to be another throwable, but rather a tactical choice to prevent enemies from staying in a defensive position. There's a clear audible beeping sound when C4 is armed, which increases in frequency as it gets closer to boom time. You'll want to be clear of it when that happens. C4 spawns as world loot on Erangel, Miramar, Vikendi, and Sanhok, and will also appear in care packages on these maps. Vehicles are getting a balance update this patch as well, with new damage zones being added to change how you go about taking them down. Starting with 7.3, damage dealt to the engine of a vehicle will still be full, but damage done to the sides and roof of a vehicle will be reduced. Vehicles will also no longer explode immediately upon reaching 0 health. Instead, the engine will die and catch fire, giving you about 5 seconds to bail before the vehicle reaches its ultimate end, though excessive damage can be an exception. These new damage zones affect most basic four-wheeled vehicles like the UAZ and Murata. Other changes include increased armor for boats, no more increased collision damage when vehicles are rolling, and a 50% increase to spike trap length. You can check out the patch notes for full details. One more vehicle-related thing. The trains on Vikendi have gotten a new vertical line on the map, which should give more options for use. Some trains will now also make an additional stop before reversing direction, and we've added new indicators for when trains are arriving and departing. Players dropping with their team can once again utilize the parachute follow feature, which was previously disabled pending some improvements, to stick close to their group without having to maneuver there manually. From the pre-match countdown to before the drop, you can select a teammate to follow to the grounds. This can be cancelled on the map screen by holding F while in the plane or while following the player in your shoot. Finally, the Esports menu has been updated in preparation for PCS 1. Here you'll be able to find an overview, team standings, and the next iteration of the Pick'em Challenge. We'll be talking about PCS 1 and the Pick'em Challenge more soon, so keep your eye on PUBG channels for more information. Update 7.3 is available now on PC test servers, so drop in and check out everything new.
The kick that it holds, the level 3 gear that he's going to control as well. Wow. But what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Okay, that's a bit weird, but whatever. Jumps into the back of the...
Just yet, so 3 or 3 creeping by, and oh my god, we're getting a demolition derby coming in here. Honey Badger finding himself in a little bit of trouble, so trying to see if he can maybe get out of this position, but reinforcements rolling through as it is just a drive-by right on top of Pintalol. He gets dropped out of his vehicle, and Landoon says, hey, I'll come by.
To confirm, back into the circle. They were struggling to get off of Everest. Look at the nades coming in. Oh my god! This looks pretty rough for Bahamut Gaming. Nice nades from Haisaki and...
여우 선수가 있습니다. 왼쪽 오른쪽 위에서 체력이 좀 많이 빠졌어요. 6발이라도 눕힐 수 있어요 이거.
Catch you off guard, so Yaxley might be in a bit of trouble, but Oath is driving themselves right into Victor. He's hiding behind this rock. Can he find that Knock doesn't? We're just going to go ahead and crash onto this rock, but Wolf is immediately taken down. Balefrost looks for it, but he falls himself. Oh.
主动离线，主要是这一波灵性拉防眼。其实说实话，主要是 4M 听到了脚步声，这一波提前枪，对方是赶紧侧身绕了回去。没想到是怎么楼上还有人啊！进来了，高点一头，这一波。
And now just Squeaky Dance. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Now a 1v3. A step too far, I feel. Ooh, hello, Squeaky, let's go. Let's go on the 1v2. Show me what you got. Surely he doesn't get another chance. You can deny all the... Squeaky, you're an animal. Do it, Squeaky, please. Just do it.
If he does this.
Oh my god, the Micah. The nade comes out, the flush comes in. Micah's got an AK to hand, he's just on the right side. He might have the off angle. Squeaky does it. Oh my god!
Welcome back, survivors. One of the most requested features from the community has been a proper ranked mode, where players can put their skills to the test against others. We're happy to announce that an official ranked mode is finally coming to PUBG with update 7.2. But what is ranked mode? How do you play it? And what else do you need to know? Let's dive in and take a look. Ranked mode replaces the old survival title system, and is a separate queue from normal PUBG matches, featuring its own unique characteristics and rule set. To play a ranked match, navigate to the play button on the main menu, and find the ranked button in the sub-menu. In an effort to keep cheating out of ranked play, you'll need to link an SMS device before you're allowed to participate. Ranked games have a maximum of 64 players, and can be played in FPP or TPP squads, though players do have the option of going in with fewer than 4 people. You'll first need to play 5 placement matches to determine your starting tier and division. Tiers progress from bronze to silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and master, with 5 divisions between each tier. As you play games, you'll earn and lose rank points, or RP, which move you up and down the rankings. Once you reach the end of Division 1 in any tier, your next win will promote you to the lowest division of the next tier. But be aware that poor performance can also lower your rank. When a game starts, your map will be randomly selected from Erangel, Miramar, or Sanhok. Ranked matches have their own rule set, which pulls from both normal and esports super settings. These settings mean more loot, a heavier focus on competitive weapons like ARs, altered blue zone settings to encourage more conflicts, and by very popular demand, no red zones. To check out the full rule set, visit our ranked mode dev letter linked below. Now that you know how you'll be fighting, let's dive into what's at stake. Ranked mode features unique rewards that you can't get anywhere else, and you start to earn them by simply finishing your placement matches. These initial rewards are special add-ons for your PUBG ID, but the bulk of the rewards are earned once you reach gold tier and consist of unique skins with a competitive ranked theme. For those who go above and beyond, there's a special PUBG ID reward for ranked players who finish in the top 500 of their territory. You can check out our new and improved leaderboard to see where everyone stands and how they got there. We've put a lot of thought into how to make ranked mode great, and your feedback has been invaluable here as well. A couple other things to go over before we wrap up. First of all, we want to reiterate that bots will not be in any ranked games. And as we stated before, we're putting a stronger focus on authentication to help prevent cheating. This means you might have to connect to your account to a cell phone or reach a certain level of mastery before being able to play ranked. We hope these measures will help keep ranked matches focused on pure competitive gameplay and skill. Ranked mode is coming with update 7.2, so get the squad together and get ready to show the battlegrounds what you're made of.
PUBG Continental Series 1. Welcome everybody to the Asia region, the final days. China, Korea, Japan, Chinese Taipei, all dueling it out for a ton of prize money. That first place spot going away with about 50 grand US. I am Paper Thin. This is Bench, and we are so excited to be back here for this final day. It has been really intense competition in here in Asia this go-around. It's not like the Charity Showdown where Tianba just dominated the whole way through. Now we have a lot of teams that are still in it. In fact, I would say anybody that is 10th place or up legit has a shot if they have a crazy good day, and maybe Infantry does not have much of a day. It's going to be hard, though. Infantry has been playing very well, Bench.
The point spread is very even. Infantry is sitting at 129. Griffin's coming in second with 127, so that's only 2 points difference. And Entis is coming up third at 115, Quadra at 114, All-Stars 97, Element Missing 92, and so on. But any teams above 85 points technically have a shot at stealing the first place if they do pop off crazy, take 3-4 wins, and make it happen.
Absolutely. I mean, Infantry has been playing great. All the credit in the world to them. Nine and Longsker have been leading the way as per usual for that nutty good team from China. Right behind them, though, are 3 Korean teams. Let's take a look at some of the Infantry highlights. These guys have been all over the place, been doing it on both maps. It's been Miramar and Erangel. Again, they set up bridge traps. They have such a large playbook for them to choose from. They set up traps, they play well. They do what really impresses me about Infantry is when they fight in bad positions. They fight in an uphill battle or something where they don't have the good position, and they will just wreck teams. They will win. They will outright win those battles.
So thanks to the firepower coming out from Longsker and 9, they are able to come out alive from those bad positions that we've mentioned. We've seen them get caught off guard, pants down, but some way, somehow, they will only lose 1 or 2 members and wipe the other team out, even though we all think that, okay, like this might be it for Infantry this game. They're going to be wiped out now, but turns out they will do it. But for Griffin as well, on the first week, they were quite slow. They didn't have that much points, but coming to the second week, they were popping off, especially for Too Hard and Minsung. Too Hard is averaging 420 damages per game, and for kills, 2.3 average kills a game.
I mean, Too Hard was the MVP on day 3, no doubt about it. He is absolutely popping off right now. This whole team is just stacked with talent. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is your first time watching the Asia region. First of all, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Asura is your play caller. He's going to be your leader. He's usually out front for Griffin as your kind of like the scout frontliner as well. Minsung and Too Hard are kind of your fraggers, going to be either frontline or on the sides, and then 2Tap is your support player in the back, a good sniper, a very good player overall as well. The whole team stacked with talent. My pick to win all this, as I think now they've been playing extremely well in Korea. They won the Korea qualifiers. Now the talent is really starting to come through. I think the nervousness of being on these big stages has kind of left them, and going forward, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for quite some time.
We saw Too Hard and 2Tap brute forcing themselves into the circle with just 2 of them alive. We've seen them break LYG, we've seen them break Infantry, and Too Hard by himself were pulling off mad kills as well. But we're going to be looking over towards Entis. This team also, we shouldn't be sleeping on. 115 points, only 14 points away from #1 spot. They have a good shot at it, especially with Under popping off. And for Sungjang as well, he was having some hard times in the Korean qualifiers, but him popping off as well now really brings the team forward.
I mean, Under has been a huge addition to this team, an already incredibly strong team, replacing Doya with Under after the PUBG Global Championship in 2019. Since then, they've stuck with that same roster, and they've been successful. They've never been outside of the top 5 in basically any event they've been in since then, and so they've been doing incredibly well. I should clarify that in any event that has the normal super settings, there was some tournaments here that had some weird rules that they didn't necessarily do great in, but that's not a big deal. Going forward, I'm looking to see Entis. They need a few others to help pop off behind Under, and Sungjang really needs to get his play calling under control, reel in the team, and make sure no one is out there dying by themselves for nothing. We've seen it happen with him, Kale, Under, Indigo. They've all done it at least once in this tournament. You can see the region performances. All right, 5 chickens for each of these countries. China, 3 on day 1, 2 on day 2, 2 for Korea, 3 on day number 2 for them. So day number 3, though, Korea took a leap forward. They came through with 4 chickens, and then Japan had one. They were finally able to break through with Element 36 on the back of Sophia, who, by the way, guys, is a real talent here in Japan. And on this international stage, he's been playing well. Not just when he gets an AWM in his hands. We've seen him play very well with that. But overall, he's been playing incredible. I mean, he's got 19 kills, over almost 4,000 damage. He leads his team in revives as well. He's been doing it all for Element 36.
So to break down day number 3, Element Mystic took match number 1, Griffin, match number 2, Genji, match number 3, VSG, match number 4, and some way, somehow, Element 36 made that happen and give their region a win as well. But yesterday was quite crazy, wasn't it, in North America, Clinton?
Oh my word. If you guys missed the NA Finals, turn around. Look at that point score. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Wild Card and Shoot to Kill were tied. Shoot to Kill was down going into that last match. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but get in there and watch it. One of the all-time great games in PUBG history. You must go back and watch it. It was phenomenal. All right, let's take a look at our Korean teams. First up, I would say probably the biggest disappointment for everybody, Genji. They are 8th coming into this. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Everybody, I'd say in the top 10 is close enough in points that they can at least potentially pop off and get it done. Genji, I would say, is the most likely to do that.
So Genji sitting at 86 points. Well, they are still in the picture, but from their performances throughout this tournament, it's the likelihood is very low, I would say. And now might be the time for Genji to really decide upon, okay, we might be able to pull a shoot to kill here.
I would love that. I mean, if Genji does that, it would be one of the great days. I mean, to follow up the other great day, Lash is enjoying his moment on the camera with the headrest there.
He's having fun. Little does he know, he's getting live streamed all the way.
And Kira's punching him like, hey, bro, we're on TV. Stop.
This is live, guys. Broadcasted worldwide. Brought to you by PUBG.
Yeah.
But Lash, you got your moment there.
Quadro, we've been quiet about them. We shouldn't be. They have been playing incredible. This is a team that very well could win today, and I don't think I would be surprised at all, especially with how well Yowook's been playing. So to give you guys a breakdown of what Quadro's kind of roles are, Yowook is your play caller, your team leader. Renba, D-Lax are typically your fraggers. Yacha plays more of a support sniper role. So Yowook right now is 20 kills. That's well above his average. Usually he's under, to be frank, he doesn't average a kill per game. He's usually under that. But today, he's playing much better than that, over a kill per game.
So we would see him rather acting as like a sacrifice for Renba to pop out. But this time around, he's like, I'm going to do that myself as well alongside with Renba. It's not like Renba sacrificing. They're both popping off, which really, really brought Quadro back up to the top. 114 points. That's like just 1 point behind Entis.
And even Yacha is playing very, very well for them. It's only 14 kills, but Yacha's been getting a lot of damage in there. 3,000 damage for him, which is really close to Yowook. So the damage numbers are there. As a team, Quadro is playing very well. Their team fighting has been top tier in this tournament, right up there with Infantry, I would say, in terms of like, when I think about our best team fighting teams, them, Infantry, and Griffin are probably the 3 that come to mind as the top 3 for that. Entis gets it done through their movements more than anything else, and their late game play. And a big part of it came through that 19-kill chicken dinner they had. But guys, game number 1, the lobby is ready. This is the final day of PCS1 Asia. Miramar kicks it off as we have 3 of those to begin the day, and then 2 Erangels to wrap it up. Buckle up. I have a feeling this one's going to be a wild one.
This one will be a very close one, in fact. And for the teams up top, Infantry, Griffin, and Quadro, these teams favor how the maps are being played. 3 Miramars and 2 Erangels, and because Miramar is their most favorite map, just to say, they are really good in close quarter combats, and because of that, they will really like to put up points in the first 3 maps rather than the 2 maps of Erangel.
Yeah, I mean, and there are some other teams that we should mention that are up towards the top. LYG, they have a shot. They're a distant outsider in all of this, right? 9th place right now, 85 points. But we saw them at the Charity Showdown be so incredible on Miramar. There's a shot. I would not take it away from them. The other team I want to mention is an incredible long shot. I'd say less than a 1% chance, but there is a chance, is going to be VSG with 81 points. Now, the reason I say that they're within shot is because a team like VSG is capable of putting up 60-plus points in a day. That's enough to at least catch up to Infantry if they completely just bomb out and have a god-awful day.
So for VSG or LYG, they have to completely shut off Infantry and Griffin, and B, they have to make up at least 3 wins, 60 plus points to be in the 140, 150 range, which likelihood is quite low, but you never know what's going to happen. This is just out in the dark.
I mean, we saw Wildcard string together 3 wins in a row in NA on their final day. So anything is possible here. Tornado Energy strung together massive points in EU last night. Well, early this morning, our time, technically.
Pretty much, right?
I stayed up very late to watch the EU games. What a fun set of matches that was, and some crazy circles. This one's not super crazy though, centered right on top of Los Leones. Southern circles. Griffin tends to play these well. In history, they kind of remind me. Griffin kind of reminds me of Na'Vi a little bit in the way that they rotate and approach Miramar, where they like to either drop Alcantara or Valle del Mar. They come from the western side of the map, basically, and then especially on southern circles, they just come as south as they can and work their way uphill. It can be a little challenging if you're not a good team fighting team, because literally the whole way up from the southern coast is uphill, so you can't really like rotate as quickly, and you can't really use vehicles as effectively. But if you're good at team fighting and you know the angles to approach compounds from, you can really do well.
Especially when Na'Vi pushes those southern mountains, they really make something happen. They trade out very well. So is Griffin. If Asura pushes out and he gets knocked out, there's a reason why he pushed. He's there to gather information, and based on that, 2-Heart and 2-Tap will make things happen. But Rush B Gaming is going to join forces with Element Mystic. Lash already dishing out 1 magazine fully out. Palpa from top has an M24 with 2x. He's going to have to go a little bit more close to make things happen, but Silver has a nade in his hand, and he's about to throw that right in the face of Lash. Will that happen? No, that's going to go to the second floor, but he's going to open the door, and Lash is now exiting the compound. He has a barrel as well.
Yeah, Lash is trying to find an exit. The problem is he doesn't have a good one. Pow Pow's up on the hill. If Pow Pow comes up and over, he's already up and over. Excuse me. He's got that M24, putting some shots into Lash. Now Lash is really in trouble. He's going to have to win a 2v1 if he has any hope of escaping this. So this is a little bit aggressive from Lash. He gets some damage. Good side angle here, but he's going to get Silver. Can he get one more? He's very low health, but jumping up is G9, and that's going to be Lash down and out.
First blood is going to be Lash from Element Mystic. They had 92 points, Element Mystic-wise, so now their shot to number 1 spot is going to be slowed down for a little bit. It's just match number 1, nothing special. You know, there's match 2, 4, 3, 4, and 5. So let's see what happens.
This is Lash getting a little too greedy in
Right.
positioning here. Usually most of EM goes to La Cobreria, but they're pretty far. I mean, Lash is really far away from the rest of his team in this split. So, I mean, the plane path is part of it. You're trying to, like, hedge your bets, get close to stuff, but get your vehicles potentially. But in this case, it just did not really pan out. Rush B Gaming all over this mistake from EM, taking advantage of it, getting a point, not quite for free, but very close to for free, as they did suffer a knock. Speaking of suffering knocks, ZGG has been knocked. He has been the top fragger for 4AM, but overall, I will say this, Bench, it has been very disappointing for them.
Especially, as you can see, ZGG getting knocked out. What a clean headshot from the Car 98 with 8x. Crest Gaming, Xanadu, not the best tournament for them, but we've seen them some signs in life, just like right now, or even day number 3, they had a couple kills. They were pouncing into the team, and they somehow managed to trade kills. Trade kills, not more than that. I'll just leave it as trade kills, is like at max for now.
And it's been disappointing for them, especially for, I'd say, this guy right here, Forever. Only 8 kills so far. That is well below what we're used to seeing from him. For a time, Forever was one of the best players in the world. He was a player you always look to being that top fragger in any tournament he played in. But these days, it has been not good. ZGG has been a breath of fresh air for them. 19 kills for him, their top damage dealer. But the rest of the team has just been struggling. It just looks like 4AM just is getting bullied there. It feels like that old kind of dominance they had in team fighting just isn't there. The confidence isn't there. The positioning isn't there. The timing isn't there. Just everything isn't going their way.
Even for that one match where 4AM was like top 2 with Griffin, I believe that was, in Miramar. And I've seen chances where 4AM could have taken to capitalize off of a knock, but turns out just Griffin was a little better in terms of things, and 4AM got shattered apart. Second place, not bad, but a little disappointing that they could have made things happen as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, that Griffin's speed and aggressiveness has paid a lot of dividends for them, especially on day number 3. They were all over the place, and they were just playing with tons of confidence, even when they were down to 2 members. They continue to play with confidence, get aggressive onto fights. I mean, they would take fights 2v3 that they thought they had a better position or they thought they had good timing on and would do well. Are we going to do the loop-de-loop? No. Disappointing, Eguto. Come on now. We wanted to see the loop-de-loop. You have left us all hanging. Just kidding. All right.
But in the meantime, Under found himself a nice little AUG to work with, and you don't want to give this guy an AUG or what do you call those grozas?
Right.
The grinders, meat grinders, because Under is really scary. Close up, and especially with those special guns, he can really make things happen, miraculous stuff.
I mean, anybody who watched the game where Entis had 19... Are you kidding me?
That's
Jeez.
unfortunate.
I mean, that is that is in the next area code right there. Crazy good shot by Eguto. Going back to Under, I mean, that game he had, that 7-kill or 8-kill game he had underneath the mountain south of South George was absolutely crazy. And you saw what he can do as a frontliner. And speaking of good frontliners, Minsung can do it all. Minsung gets it done through everything. Close up, sniping, he is pretty much, if I remember looking at his stats correctly, he is pretty even in terms of his like damage and kills and knocks for either assault rifles or DMRs. So the guy is just a complete player in terms of his fragging ability.
In the meantime, Element 36 is going to be pounded by a trap by Rushby Gaming. No loss yet. But it looks like they're going to be getting off to respond to this action. Pure Boy is going to be driving a little bit farther away, but rest of his teammates is going to be parked outside those small camp compounds. In the meantime, Element 36 winning that last game of day number 3 really meant a lot, I feel like.
It did. It meant a lot
for the region too.
For their region. I mean, the fan support is huge in Japan, and it was so great to see them get that win, and I think it gave them more confidence because they didn't get a win as a region in the Charity Showdown. And now they're finally able to pull through with some really, really fantastic play from Element 36. Been the better of the 2 Japanese teams here so far. And again, a big part of that, Sylphia playing incredibly well for them. Satao, a guy we've seen before on international stages, has been playing okay, not great. But overall, really, Satao has been getting it done for them. I mean, he's got over double the damage of anybody else on his team. So he's playing out of his mind. And if the rest of his team can pick it up a bit, they have a real good shot to maybe climb up to top 5.
They really have a chance to make those points, at least come in between, maybe like before top 8, so like 7, 6, or top 5th even at best maybe. But that result would really, really encourage the whole region to play PUBG more and more.
They are. I think there's plenty to be encouraged about with the Japanese region. They get better and better as time goes on, and they need to keep. They will keep fighting. And that's really exciting to see an emerging region like that. In esports, all across the board. Over here, the circle has hard shifted over to the southeast. Now, it's not any water in it really, though, so this one's not too terrible, but the real concern becomes how many teams get forced into Los Leones because of rotations. Now, the good news is basically the entire southeastern side of this circle is open. Nobody pushed down there because of the way that first one went through. A little bit of damage from Indigo into Foxy as VSG, they finally set up one of their traps on day number 3 bench, and it completely fell apart.
Mental got driven right over, tire marks all over his face, and that shattered them apart. But for these city finishes, teams that decide to just crawl out just a little bit outside of the cities usually capitalize off better because it's easy entry into the city, first of all. And if the circle does decide to leave, then it's easy exit as well. Whereas if you're like in the dead center, there's not much you can do. Looking over towards Tiamba and Infantry, Tiamba sitting at 88 points. Lenshin opening up towards, that's going to be Longsker as well. Longsker returning one of his favorite as well. 61 damage, clean headshot too. But Tiamba, they are going to be swapping out M200 with Tian Tian. He's been setting off on day 3, Tian Tian, I believe. And he's back in play, so hopefully Tiamba can really put up those points. They have a good shot to challenge for number 1 as well, so I'm really looking forward to this roster as well.
There's a shot. You can never count these guys out with how well they played at the Charity Showdown. We know they're capable of popping off putting up huge numbers. Linshun been a big part of that for them this go-around. 21 kills coming into today. The rest of the team struggling a bit. I will say I'm a little surprised at benching M200, or I don't know if there's something else going on. Maybe he's, there's a potential he's not feeling well. We're not exactly sure why the swap was made. M200, he's been playing okay, not great, but he has been like Johnny on the spot. He's the revive leader. 8 revives total. So in this entire lobby, he's got the most revives out of anyone in this tournament.
In the meantime, Element Mystics are driving right by Crest Gaming. Ari is getting very close there, taking him down to more than half HP, but the last bullet wouldn't connect there. Ari is going to be setting himself right by Crest Gaming. Looks like he's going to be driving a little bit far away, wrap around, so he's going to be out of the line of fire. But in the meantime, he's been running into Rush B Gaming. Silver's waiting right here. And does QRV notice this? This might be another member from Element Mystic down and dusted. Silver, very patient, not giving out any sound cues, but he's going to be popping that flashbang to clear out an angle so he can push out a little further. QRV, now noticing that, is going to be entering that second floor compound to find a better cover.
Yeah, Rush B already able to get it done against Lash. Can they do it against Kira V here once again? 2 more members coming in, so it is a full 4-man push for Rush B Gaming. Kira V in a lot of trouble, trying to hold down the long angle, trying to hold down this one little room. He's got to be super careful, though. He's going to back out, trying to come around the side. See if maybe he can get a knock, soften him up a little bit. He's going to accomplish that, but that gives away his position. There's now some other stuns, another thing going to come out that's going to back Silver off a little bit. What is QRV's reposition going to be? He doesn't have good options because Crest Gaming Xanadu is right there to punish any movement he makes to try to escape this compound.
Rush B Gaming, though, they are not afraid to pounce onto QRV. They're like, okay, we're going to send full 4 members in and take this guy out no matter what. And now QRV finding a little better position. Looks
if he
like
can get this buggy and get out.
Oh, he got caught by Aguto. Take him down to super low HP, but Rio is going to be putting some shots into Rush B Gaming as well. That's going to be Kira down.
Not bad shooting here from Aguto to start off this round. Kira is found and taken out by Pow Pow. Some more damage done to Pow Pow. Good knock by Aguto. That's 2 knocks for him already in this game. Not going to be able to capitalize on either of them, but some good shooting, getting him warmed up. Now Element Mystic down to 2 members. This is not the start they were looking for. Our 6th place team coming into this. Definitely a team with a shot. But the Southern Circles on Miramar haven't been favorable to them.
In the meantime, the circle is going to be, including most of Los Leones, going to be on the eastern edge of it, where most teams are going to be more comfortable with. Infantry on the rotation from the southern edge. They are sitting in 0 kills, but Infantry is known for getting those kills mid-game and late game, where they just go super, super aggressive, and they're not afraid to crash into a compound. Most likely in this game as well, where most compounds are already taken, we might be seeing them just running their car into their faces.
I mean, it's something that Infantry is really special for, is they just go. Once they decide something, they do it. And they, whether that be to just try and, sneak a kill on a third party and then back off, or whether it be a full send, as we saw multiple times so far in this tournament, mostly successful. There was one time they plowed into E36 as a 4-man, and 2 members of E36 actually lost all 4 in that push, but normally their pushes go well. Genji in transition, only 2 members of Element Mystic here, so Genji should be able to cross by relatively safely. I think there's only 3 of them up here, so we're missing Aqua 5 somewhere. He might have to divert around. As I look at the map, it looks like he wasn't able to get through as cleanly as the other members. They're still going. Those vehicles are on fire. They got to be really careful. Loki's going down. This is a little bit too much here for Gen G. They've bitten off more than they can chew.
Look at the way Entis is spread out. There's 1 in the house and 2 up on the rocks. This is just disastrous. PO's vehicle's already on fire, and that's going to send PO home. Alka 5 down and dusted as well, and that will leave a single member rolling around in Nonix, I believe. But that's just puts Genji down to the ground. Go back into your graveyard. In the meantime, Element 36 is going to be pounding right onto Griffin. That's going to be Asura taking a bunch of HP, 2 already down and dusted. And now, what's their plan? Pure Boy's being knocked. Sophia can take the res easily, and the push is going to happen once the res happens.
Well, we'll see what Asura does. He's going to go for a full-on med kit, as it looks like he feels safe enough to do that, but he is indeed not safe enough. A good grenade from Aminat puts him down. Meanwhile, Luminous Stars in the background is doing the dirty to GEX. Minsung trying to come up and over. Asura bleeding out very, very quick. He looks like he is going to be going down. So right now, Element 36, their defense, we've seen this throughout this tournament, very strong, going up against one of the powerhouses here, Griffin. They're proving to be a formidable wall to run into.
But here is the flank coming from Pure Boy and Aminat, but Griffin has already backed off. They're not caught off yet, and there's enough angles and pitches to work with. That's Minsung picked off by Pure Boy. Great spray, finds a headshot. Now it's in the hands of Two Heart, but Tian doesn't want that to happen. Imanat down to super low HP, and Two Heart firing his bullets as well. That final bullet just won't connect. No knocks happening. Minsung already down, but can he crawl to a better position so that rest could happen?
Yeah, this, again, Griffin also maybe getting a little overconfident, biting off a little bit more than they could chew here. It looks like they're going to go for the res. I think they have the space now with some help from Tianba Gaming, pushing Element 36 back to at least get the res going. Going forward, they have a little bit of a circle advantage, and maybe Element 36 will have to be the ones becoming the aggressors, depending on where this next circle goes. So maybe they can hold that off, but you got to give a lot of credit here to Element 36, starting off very strong. You can see Rush B Gaming continues their strong start, as well as they're finding Crest Gaming Xanadu. Ares down and out. Tianba starting to kind of reach out a little bit, see what they can find out here, and just extend as far as they safely can to get ready for the next circle shift. As again, they're on the edge, so it'll probably move away from them.
Quadro firing upon Curzon DA, taking a bunch of damage in the meantime. That's going to be Yacha we're looking at. Remba as well having a mini. Crest Gaming, they're just dancing around to dodge those bullets. Rio is already down super low, and he's stuck in between Curzon and Quadro. And if you're in between those two teams, the likelihood of your survival is going to be very, very low.
Yeah, it's not looking good there. Quadro in a pretty decent position. Curzon has to come in through the circle over to their southeast, and it looks like they might be able to get through. And Onyx is all alone. There's two members of Griffin. He gets one, isn't able to get the other. Minsung gets taken down by Kale even, so no points for Anonix in that stand. Genji is out right away, no points. That is not the start they needed.
In the meantime, All-Stars pushing on towards LYG. Carrot eating those nades like his breakfast, and he's going to be down to like 1 or 2 HP. That was like 329s easy. And now some return fires. Won't be doing too much. Winby just getting ready himself to go for the push. Crazy on the flank is going to be spraying with the 3x on the barrel. Now has an SLR. The headshots won't tick just yet, but the push from All-Stars is going to be happening anytime soon, as the smokes will be thrown out.
Crazy coming over the hill to the right, and there goes Crest Gaming Xanadu. Rush B Gaming coming out strong today. They want to get as high as they can. Starting the day in 14th place is definitely disappointing for them, but I say that, and they are immediately eliminated right on the back of it by 4AM and Quadro. Still over in this fight with LYG and Luminous Stars. Luminous Stars, nobody really has too much of an advantage in terms of where they are in relation to the circle. I'd say LYG maybe having a little bit of a high ground advantage, and Crazy doing something that lives up to his name potentially a little bit, going out in the blue to seeing if he can catch Luminous Stars a little off guard.
This is still phase 4, and if you're close by, if you have enough meds, you'll be fine to do that. In the meantime, Kinch trying to find an angle. Not going to be finding the tip of the head there. But where is our next circle going to be? Just in 2 seconds. Most likely going to be a mountain circle once again, and there you go. Just a little southern shift, and Crazy finding off a couple bullets, but the spray wasn't accurate enough, and now he's down to 25. He's going to have to find a spot to hide and pull that medkit off. Monsters finding a Crazy headshot onto Migo as well.
It was a good idea by Crazy, but it just took a little bit too long for him to be able to get into position. Monsters is going to get the knocks onto Maps. Another one goes down. Migo Crazy as well. It's just Carrot left. It is going to be a bunch of LYG going down. Carrot still trying to find something. More damage being done by Monsters. There's only one down, but here comes Tianba Gaming on the side of this. This fight been going on way too long, so Tianba wants to get a piece. Linshun is going to see Carrot as well, so Carrot is getting focused by 2 different teams here as he's trying to push forward, looking to go for a res on Amigo. It looks like this might be safe. There might be enough of this plateau to block off the vision from these other 2 teams.
Lorena putting some more bullets into All-Stars and LYG. Because of Tianba pounding onto this, gets a chance to res this, but what more can they do? They have to push out onto a higher ground where everyone, especially All-Stars and Tianba, can look onto. Carrot finds a nice angle, sprays down one, finds the second one. Carl's so dangerous, but Carl will return for the favor of the knock of his own.
Oh, man, I thought he was going to have that. I thought Carrot was going to finish off Luminous Stars, but he does a lot of damage to him. This is Entus and 4AM. Sungjang already down. Indigo, weak. 4AM hurting as well. Way less and ZGG. Entus, oh gosh, there's a multiple battles going on here. Under still has that AUG in his hands, of course. Indigo is going to get found by way less close range. Under is trying to prevent infantry from coming into this fight, but this is a bit of a too big of a spread here for Entus. Under not able to connect with his SKS shots. That's going to move him back, and now Zhao Yang's found a good angle onto him. Almost gets the knock.
But Under should be fine here. Pops out a smoke to cover the angle from Element Mystic, and he is going to be able to heal all the way back up to the 75 and pop some more meds. Infantry, though, they were really pounding onto that. Kale now finding an angle onto Kinch. Finds a knock. An easy headshot as well. And now Maknae being the last member for Element Mystic, as they did lose to Rush B Gaming earlier on this game.
Yeah, it's tough now. Maknae, he's looking to get into this. Yowook finds Curzon. Eventually, these two teams getting forced into each other because of the circle. Renba is on the ground, but Dlax has a good position on top of PH111. Finally able to reconnect with his spray. Had to readjust there for just a second. Gonna reload. Other members of Curzon trying to push forward and uphill. Yacha's got to be careful. There could be somebody flanking from the angle. I don't know if Yacha's ready for this. Okay, DA is going to be backed off by some other shots. So now something coming up the middle in this canyon. Element 36 hears this. I think Element 36 should just pounce on this. Get on top of this fight. See if they can get some points.
Yacha's weak, and they did damage DA down to super low HP. Yacha being caught off here. DA finding the knock, and in the meantime, D-Lex finding the knock onto DA as well. And Element 36 decides to pound right onto it. Sophia and Septal finding a knock of their own as well, stealing the kills as well. Great points there.
Great timing by Element 36. There's still a couple members of Quadro alive. Renba, Yowook, still up and firing for them, but Element 36 going for the res onto Sophia. Should be able to get this. Smokes are down. Plenty of time. Nobody really looking their way other than Quadro, who is underneath the hill. Satao now putting some shots in towards Renba, just backing him off a little bit. Not much damage coming through. Vehicle blows up. Renba safely away from it, though, as he doesn't really take significant damage. Now it is going to be an interesting decision that Quadro has to make. E36 is backing off. What exactly is Quadro going to do to go into the next circle? They do have a couple members of Entus up in front of them, but Entus is kind of busy with infantry a little bit, and now they have to deal with Quadro, so Entus is just constantly fighting multiple teams here.
In the meantime, 9 knocked out Foxy from VSG and was wiped off by Zhao Yang. So there's the first kill for infantry, and now they're readying themselves to get started in this battle. And Quadro, after suffering from 2 losses, they're going to be farming up a little more meds and smokes to work with. Zhao Yang having a great angle onto Under. So Under's going to be sandwiched if Quadro decides to enter into a circle, but it's the matter of will infantry and Element 36 pound back onto Quadro for crossing this road.
That's a really good point. I'm not sure what exactly Kale needs to do. He's outside of the circle. He's got to come down. That's going to be tricky for him. VSG, they've been quiet, but they're able to rotate in onto the other side of the road and take a dip. Kale now trying to push forward and down that hill. That could be a little tricky with eyes pointed towards him from Quadro, and infantry Under doing his best to provide cover fire, but there are so many different angles that Under has to be aware of, that he has to be watching and shooting at. Going back over to Quadro, Under with that SKS once again. He's taken a little bit of damage into that level 3 gear, but that is some good shooting from Kale and Under to put Yowook down. Just Renba left, who prones and is going to try to army crawl his way in.
But how long more can he crawl? He's going to be caught off. Kale, in the meantime, is going to be spotted out, and he's taking a bunch of damage. Has to prone, take the med. He's still outside a circle, and what more he could do. Under being spotted out as well. That's a headshot almost taken down. If that was a level 2 gear, he was done and dusted. Kale, in the meantime, being knocked out, leaving Under all alone. He's going to be able to pull the medkit back off, but infantry wants to make this happen. Renba decides to pop the medkit. Let E36 pass in front of him. This might be a very sneaky play. Does he have enough medkits to make this happen, though?
I don't know. Renba has quite a few, but he doesn't have a lot longer because of how damaging this circle is. He looks out, tries to put some damage in the back of E36. He's going to go down to the blue, realizing there isn't much else for him to do, knowing that there's still teams alive that have a shot at winning this one. Doesn't want to give those points away. Lin Shun now has come up and over VSG. Good flanking here from the rest of Tianba, but the smokes are there to cover VSG well enough to not suffer any knocks just yet. I spoke too soon. All of VSG goes down in a heartbeat to Tianba.
Z9 Max will finish off VSG with his nade onto Mental, as Wicked was already knocked out. Foxy down dusted earlier on, but Griffin wants to doesn't let this one pass. Too hard as the last member alive. Throws a couple nades as Z9 Max is going to be running away with that motorcycle. L136, 4 strong, 8 kills already though.
Yeah, this is a huge start for Tianba. Like we mentioned earlier, these guys are capable of popping off. We know it. We've seen it. Element 36 having a great game. They made 2 heart from Griffin pay for peeking out to try to steal some kills onto Tianba. Satao now putting Boliang onto the ground. Smoke's available for Boliang to hide into now. Satao not opting to continue to put pressure on him. Boliang gonna run forward. There's a decent amount of smoke available, but Satao able to see just enough of the silhouette of Boliang to put some more shots. Z9 tries to peek up, but Pure Boy there able to cover the angle. Good positioning here from Element 36, really having good angles to keep each other covered as they peek out and try to put pressure on these other teams.
Look at the way Element 36 is like covering each other as they're pushing into the center part of the circle. Well, it's going to be 4 versus 4 versus 4. Very even. Whichever team gets pounded first might most likely be the victim of 3rd place or 2nd place.
Yeah, it's one of those odd situations where you have 3 teams with 4 alive, and you don't want to be the one to start the fight first, because a lot of times you end up being the one who suffers because of it. We'll see, though. Z9 Max going to open up as E36 does have to transition a bit. Amanat taking quite a bit of damage, about half health there, so he's going to have to back up and go for his heal. Blue is coming in, still about 30 seconds before it pushes forward, but look at where Infantry is set up. They have completely bottled Element 36 in. This is really good positioning, but does this open the door for Tianba to get the win? Element 36, Satao pushing up over the hill. He gets the eyes on the long skirt. That's also going to give the information to where he is. The other 2 members give their sound information. Good timing here. Zhao Liang coming up and over. 9 coming up and over. Going to find Pure Boy. It is a complete entrapment of E36. Sylphia does get bullying. He has been huge. Amanat very weak. Sylphia very weak. I don't know how much longer E36 can hold on.
Tianba!
This is what I was talking about. Here comes Tianba up and over. Infantry does take down E36, but at what cost? It is just Zhao Yang left. Grenades coming in. Lin Shun gets some damage into Zhao Yang. More points being picked up by them. He comes up and over. He is spotted out, and he is down. Tianba Gaming puts up a 10-kill chicken winner to start the day.
Now, from 88 points, they're going to be sitting at 20 plus 108 points, but Infantry as well did pick up more points to stay in their #1 spot, but little they know, a lot of teams are chasing right behind them. But a great game pulled up by Element 36. They had 9 kills, almost 9 or 10 kills if they were able to finish off more dead knocks there. For Infantry as well, they're still okay with it, but Tianba ended up winning that because they decided to find the right timing to pound onto this battlefield.
The confidence from these teams is very high. All 3 of them took good fights at good times to get themselves into these positions. Whether it be Infantry, just all over the board, they're just constantly pouncing on top of teams like Entis. They were doing a good job blocking out Quadro as well. They got kind of involved in that fight. E36 getting involved with Quadro and Curzon. So a nice fight for them. You can see some of the results of this. Quadro had a good start to that fight, but it just took too long. Tianba getting on top of VSG. There you see Infantry even fighting VSG as well. So Tianba comes through as the winner. They were patient enough, and here's the surround that Infantry tried. It worked, but then Tianba was too quick.
It worked if Infantry wouldn't have suffered from any knocks from E36 because they were knocked out quite fast. That was like, I think it was 1 player knocked out earlier on, so Tianba was like, okay, like Element 36 is like already 3 knocked and Infantry has 1 knock. This is our time to go. But that's our match leaderboard. Tianba sitting at 20 points, 10 kills, 10 wins. Element 36, 14 not bad, 9 kills, so they were able to dust down 1 of the knocks there.
Yeah, Infantry, even though they got 2nd place, only 5 kills, so they're going to come in behind Element 36 in this game. This Element 36 team is starting to play with some confidence. I mean, winning the very last game on day #3, coming in here to day #4, and getting a 2nd place is quite strong. But Griffin, even though you have to give some credit here to 2 Heart, somehow, some way, scraping up points for them, keeping them well within shooting distance of Infantry. But Infantry's good game puts them further away from Entis. They did not have a good one. Guys, stay tuned. More action coming for you for PUBG Continental Series 1 Asia. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The kick that it holds, the level 3 gear that he's going to control as well. But what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Okay, that's a bit weird, but whatever. Jumps into the back of the...
Just yet, so 3-3 creeping by, and oh my god, we're getting a demolition derby coming in here. Honey Badger finding himself in a little bit of trouble, so trying to see if he can maybe get out of this position, but reinforcements rolling through as it is just a drive-by right on top of Pintalol. He gets dropped out of his vehicle, and Landoon says, hey, I'll come by.
To confirm back into the circle. They were struggling to get off of Everest. Look at the nades coming in. Oh my god! This looks pretty rough for Bahamut Gaming. Nice nades from Haisaki and...
선수가 있습니다. 왼쪽 오른쪽 위에서 체력이 좀 많이 빠졌어요. 6발이라도 눕힐 수 있어요 이거.
Catch you off guard. So Yaxley might be in a bit of trouble, but Oath is driving themselves right into Victor. He's hiding behind this rock. Can he find that Knock doesn't? We're just going to go ahead and crash onto this rock, but Wolf is immediately taken down. Balefrost looks for it, but he falls himself. Oh.
主动理性主要是这一波灵性拉房檐，其实说实话，主要是 4M 听到了脚步声，这一波提前枪，对方是赶紧侧身绕了回去。这边小老师怎么楼上还有人啊？进来了，高点一个，这一波。
And now just Squeaky Dance. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Now a 1v3. That was a step too far, I feel. Ooh, hello, Squeaky, let's go. Let's go on the 1v2. Show me what you got. Surely he doesn't get another chance. You can deny all the... Squeaky, you're an animal. Do it, Squeaky, please. Just do it.
If he does this.
Oh my god, Micah, the nade comes out, the flush comes in. Micah's got an AK to hand, he's just on the right side. He might have the off angle. Squeaky doesn't... Oh my god!
Update 7.3 has arrived and brings an explosive new weapon, some new updates to vehicle balance, quality of life changes for...
And welcome back, everyone, to the PUBG Continental Series 1 Asia Finals. Day number 4, 4 more games to go. There are your top 5 damage dealers from match number 1 of the day. Tian, good to have him back. Maybe the rest on day number 3 was what he needed, because he's coming up big along with the rest of Tianba as they round out our top 3 spots.
Linshin coming in second, and Z9 Max popping off as well. We were just talking about earlier this tournament that Z9 Max was having not the best day in day number 3 as he's just subbed in. But it looks like that one day of practice, one day of gaming really made him work things out. But Pureboy and Sophia from Element 36 decides to pop off as well as they took out 9 kills. 9 huge kills for their own team.
I am loving Element 36, what they're doing right now. Their decision making is on point. Their shooting is good. Sylphia especially has been incredible for them. If they can pick it up just a little bit more, if the rest of the team can get it going with Sylphia here, you know what, guys? They have they're not going to win. They were a little too far out, I'd say, to have a shot at that. That being said, they have a definite shot at being one of the top 5 teams, and if they can really pop off, who knows? Maybe even getting a spot or 2 higher than that. And it's been exciting to watch them grow throughout this entire tournament. Day 1 was rough for them, and then I think a big turning moment for Element 36 was the game where Infantry tried to full-on crash them, and they were able to hold it off. A 2v4 for them, and they still managed to defeat the top team in this lobby.
And if Element 36 decides to pop off, like, who's going to be their sacrificial victim, you know, like, in the way? Like, we saw Griffin losing a couple members, and because of that, Griffin got slowed down. They are only sitting 130-something points, where if their full squad is alive, this game could have been different. I mean, we're all talking about what-ifs, but if any of the teams in the top 5 right now, Entis, Quadro, L-Stars, even Tiamba, Infantry, if any of them decide to run into Element 36, Element 36 will make them pay.
I think that's a really good point. I mean, if they do start to pop off, I like the way you put that. Who will be their victims? That's a really good way to put that. All right, this team, you can see by the looks on their faces, it is not going well. There are a lot of question marks abound as to what the heck happened in that last game. Because to be frank, I think everyone sitting at home kind of had the same thought. What are you doing? That was one of the most bizarre situations. If you're going to make that rotation, send one. You can send one and sacrifice a player to get that information that that rotation is not safe. And even if you end up getting forced into Los Leones, you can play your way out of it. You're a good enough fighting team. There's so much skill on your team. You should be able to fight your way out of that. I really question that decision to full send 3 through there.
After Lash putting up a little bit of show for us to laugh, he is going to be back in his seat. I don't know why he was going to farm that compound where he knew that was risky to do so instead of joining up with his team. It was far, far off, easy 1 kilometer and more. And that decision apparently made them pay. Lash getting picked off earlier on, and then KRV couldn't go far because his team started taking shots from Rush B Gaming, and Kira was kind of like the last person to park his car, and he got caught off eventually.
It would just was like a slow disaster for Element Mystic. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Oh, God.
They just like pieces of the train are just flying off. There goes an axle over here. One of the cabooses is flying off the backside over there, and it just wasn't going super well for them throughout that first one. I think it's been really difficult for Element Mystic on Miramar, especially in these international tournaments, because they're used to having on southern Miramar circles in Korea, a lot of the northern part of the circle open. Most of the teams in Korea dive for the center or the southern part of the circle when we get southern Miramar circles, knowing that those are kind of the stronger, more powerful positions to play. But a lot of teams here stop up short. They stop up on the north side. They just get in the circle, and they're happy to just kind of wait to see what circle 2 or 3 does until they make their move.
I mean, once you're inside the white zone, you should be just glad that you're inside of it, because some teams just can't even get inside. And for Entis, it was an okay setup for them. They were spread out a little bit wide, but apparently that trap worked on Genji, the beatdown vehicles from Rush B Gaming, and Entis was able to capitalize off of that, take the kills onto PO, Loki, and all the other players there. But eventually, as the circles did zone in phase 4, phase 5, they were still spread out too wide, and apparently that didn't pay off for them, and they had to lose a couple members earlier on, and Under was like the last one to be living. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah, Entis has to kind of recognize situations where they have a compound that's super desirable in these circles, and Chinese teams and a lot of these teams are perfectly happy to just bomb into you and force the issue. We see it with Rush B Gaming. We see it with Tianba. We see it with Infantry. We see it with 4AM. All of these teams are very happy to crash a 4-man, especially if they recognize that they have an odd-man situation on you. They will fully take advantage of that, and I think Entis is used to having the ability to just kind of hold a compound off with only 2 people, because a lot of times in Korea, if you have a compound with 2 people in it, you can just kind of shoot at the other vehicles as they come close to you, and that'll just kind of fend them off. They won't even try to crash you. Chinese teams, if they have the information, they don't care. They will full-on go for it.
And that's why you saw Infantry getting wiped out by Element 36 earlier in the Erangel games, where they just full sent it, knowing it's an odd-man situation. Little did they know Sylphia was just too good to hold it off by himself, taking 2 knocks and start things off. But for Genji, these boys over here definitely not happy about what happened last game. It was their possible chance to make things happen, but apparently they were caught off in the rotation. Just I don't know why that happened. I don't know what's the decision. I don't know what they were thinking behind their decisions of rotating deep like that.
I think if I could give them the benefit of the doubt, what I think the decision there was you come through Los Leones, you make it through Los Leones, right? And then you think, okay, we made it through the real gauntlet of this. The rest of this circle, we can probably get down to the house that's on the bottom of the hill. Unfortunately for them, there's like 3 more teams lined up around the house that they were gunning for, including a team in that house. There's just nowhere for them to go. Because the idea would be like, okay, we made it through Los Leones. There's probably 4 or 5 teams there, and the rest of it we should be able to rotate where we want. But you got to keep in mind in these circles, A, these teams are taking up a lot of space if they can early on, and B, these teams are too good. You can't make that risky long rotations like that. You have to scout it. You have to scout it.
And the quintessential Genji we know was sending 1 guy off always, but this time around they were just going as 4, and that decision, I don't know, didn't work out for sure, as we were just talking about it. But this plane path is going to be a not bad one. A little bit tilted up north, but it should not mess with most players' rotations in farming.
Yeah, okay. So Rush B is taking the northern part of Alcantara, where Griffin normally likes to go. So Griffin's going to have to rethink their idea. They might have to get in vehicles and go somewhere else, potentially do some trash looting. Now, Civi's got to be careful. He's all alone out there by Griffin. Curious to see if that one's going to result in a scuffle between Griffin and Rush B Gaming. The rest of the teams looking pretty normal. Really, the only things that are going to be kind of challenging to get to is a little bit Chumacera, which is where Tianba has been going. They bounced Infantry out of there early on in this one, and Infantry has been going Impala instead this go around. So you can see they're finding some vehicles early on for Tianba. Your game number 1 winners, they move all the way up to fifth number place. Place number 5. Wow. I spend too much time around people that don't speak English now. That's my...
Whoa.
I have to speak a lot of Korean these days. What do you...
Yeah, you're taking private tutoring for Korean too, right?
Yes, I am. I am learning.
But that first circle is most likely going to be in the up northeastern side. Tianba finding the second vehicle for themselves. Griffin found the vehicle of their own as well, but Tian taking a bunch of damage by himself. Luckily, that wasn't any headshots, so he should be dipping out from this anytime soon.
They're fine. They should be okay. There shouldn't be any problems there.
That was like a luck shot.
Yeah.
Landed on him.
Well, I mean, you got to. This is the cool thing I like about competitive play is you just take these shots early on. It doesn't hurt you not to. You might as well. I mean, if you're lucky and you land a shot, you make them waste some utility, a few heals or something like that. They have to spend a little bit of time doing that as well. So you're eating into not just their bandages or their first aid kits or whatever, but you're also eating into their time because when you're using those heals, you're much slower. You can't go as far as fast and all those good things. So there's no reason not to take those shots. Speaking of shots I like to see taken, it is a VSS in the hands of Yan Li.
VSS, strong up close. Off far, it's the silent assassin, but the blood trap is too big that you have to aim I would say easy 30 centimeters of your monitor high to land those bullets.
That's okay. You got to aim where you got to aim, man. That thing's quiet. No, it's not good at competitive play. Fun as heck in solo play, though, because no one knows where you're shooting from. People just sprint around and circle as they have no idea where these ticklers are coming in from. The BB gun that is the VSS, as Kale has a SLR. There's an SKS. Of course, everybody knows it these days. So I want to say I did find something really interesting, and I got to give a shout out to a couple guys for giving me some of this info. First is going to be a guy named CD6, who does a lot of work behind the scenes in PUBG Esports, getting us stats and providing us really interesting information. He provided these stats, and then I got to give a shout out to my guy Porosaurus, the NA caster, who gave me these stats with the new barrel.
Okay.
So what percentage of damage is being done by the barrel? So in every region except for APAC, the barrel is now the standard assault rifle. However, in APAC, the M4 is still more popular.
Okay.
More teams are still using the M4, particularly Thailand teams. And Thailand teams dominated the APAC event. So even though the barrel is super powerful, there's still clearly something to be said potentially for the M4. I don't know. All the data and statistics seem to back up that the barrel is better. And I think it's better. But who knows? Ooh, that was a replay of something going on with 4 a.m. there, but it looks like they're A-OK for now. Forever is going to be getting that healing back up and going. And all right, well, the barrel is going to be here for ZGG.
As we were just bragging about barrels.
Yeah, no, I just found it really interesting, kind of the breakdown of which regions are preferring which guns and that kind of thing, and what percentage of the damage is being done by the barrel. It's somewhere around 23 to 25% of the damage is done by the barrel in most of the regions that aren't APAC.
But M4 has been nerfed quite a while, but it looks like players that are accustomed to the M4 a little more decides to go with that. Even for Asia as well, barrel's still the most favorited gun for most players, but we do see players from time to time pick up M4s just because. Maybe not because they couldn't find any other barrels, but just because they like it a little bit better. For Anonix as well too. Like
Yes.
we see him on M4 more often. I don't know if that's gonna work out for him. But
Well, he was terrible with the barrel. I mean, the eye test alone, we saw Anonix try to control the sprays with the barrel, and he just couldn't do it. Early on in this tournament, to be frank, it wasn't. You can tell by the way that the reticle bounces and the way it moves that he just didn't have control of it yet. So it has definitely been a part of a struggle for him and Gen G as a whole. Their play calling hasn't been as good. Let's call that out for what it is. But in Onyx, coming into today, only 9 kills. By far, the least amount of kills on Gen G. That is not the Anonix we're used to seeing.
We're used to see the Anonix that is not scared to push in, take the kills, 1v3, 1v2. He doesn't care about that. He just wins out. He just outduels every player. But this time around, after the patch kicked in, looks like it's going to be a little slow for him to pick up the new patch. But as we know, the most pro players are quick enough to catch things on. So I'm hoping that Anonix can make things happen as well.
You would think so. In general, I'm really curious to see what this Gen G team is going to do going forward, because this hasn't been the superstar, all-star, unbeatable team that we expected when they picked up Aqua 5 and Onyx, these two players that played with them at the PUBG Nations Cup. Everybody expected the team that won the PUBG Global Championship to only be stronger. In fact, they haven't been. In fact, they've been weaker, and at times it feels like they are significantly weaker, which is surprising as heck. Under's going to cut his engine and then roll down this hill using gravity to allow him to get to where he wants to go.
Yes.
And there is a crate right in the hands of infantry, an AWM. Is that going to be what Zhao Yang wants to go for? Some players skip the AWM. Some players still prefer an SLR.
I mean, if you're accurate enough with the SLR, you can make things happen. But Foxy, I think he fell out from his own vehicle. What happened? Did he get knocked out by a player?
He might have bumped the F key.
Yeah, he might have bumped the F key. Here's Hulk coming for the rescue. Foxy now is just crawling on the ground, holding on his stomach. I have a stomach ache. Well, it looks like Hulk is going to be bringing the Tyranol for him. And now, that will just slow things down for VSG. Like,
Bench, do you take Tylenol for stomach aches?
No.
Okay, good.
I was like saying whatever, you know?
Okay. I just wanted to check there, buddy. I just wanted to make sure. All right, Luminous Stars on a far eastern rotation behind Infantry. Again, Infantry and Impala, and then Luminous Stars down south of them. I believe part of Puerto Paraiso was part of their drop. Longsker is going to switch vehicles to get a little more gas, probably, would be my guess. That way you don't have to hang out and bring a gas can.
I like that design on the back.
That is a cool design. I agree with you on that.
It's probably quite expensive to get it on your own car, taped it up, but this is going to be a game. It's all free. You just need to buy the skins by yourself. Support the game.
Yes.
You know what, on the rotation?
My friend, when I was playing PUBG with him today, made a really good point. You know what I can't wait for? Glider skins.
Oh, God.
Glider skins, dog. That is what I'm talking about. Once the glider comes in, it's over. I am just, you will always see me in the air with that Car 98 trying to snipe people's heads, but it'll be glorious. I don't know what kind of skins are going to come with it, but regardless, it'll be great. All right, PO overlooking. This time it is a little more of a traditional Gen G split. PO out ahead, and then Loki leapfrogged. Actually, Loki's going to be their center position guy right now in this one. Is Gen G doing more of what their traditional style is, more of a 1-3 type split or a 1-1-2, you could argue in this case. Forever taking some damage. Hasn't been a great start to the round for him or 4AM. This whole tournament has not been great for 4AM. As it is going to be Forever dodging some more damage as he looks to regroup with the rest of his teammates, heading a little bit southern.
KRV was waiting patiently outside of the compound where 2 members of LYG was locationed at. 1 member already left the compound with the vehicle, and now KRV is feeling a little bit more confident to push this as his teammates are quite right behind him as well. Kira opens up. That's Migo taking a bunch of damage. 20, 25, half HP down, but that Mirado is going to be fast enough to catch onto the Torque and just run off. But here comes the long shots. Migo, he's got to survive this one as well. That's going to be a vehicle explosion to open things up. Migo down, Migo gone. Maknae taking the kill for himself.
Good job there by Element Mystic to be aggressive onto that and pick up a point, but Migo just caught out, isn't able to escape in time, didn't have the quickest of vehicles available like these motorcycles. Had he had a motorcycle, I think he might have had a bit of a better chance, but regardless, there is some damage being done to 4AM crossing through Quadro and Crest Gaming Xanadu territory as they have 2 on that motorbike, and that is not always the most fun. What is going to be their stopping point? You can't crash through those. can't crash through those on Miramar, guys. Those don't break. That's only on Erangel. Those break, though. Those fences do break for you. So 4AM going to set up shop in the compound by the field, and GEX is trying to push through, although they get backed off because they saw that rotation by 4AM, and they have a compound free, so they're going to say, this is good enough for now, guys. Let's hold up here.
There's no reason to risk things earlier on this game, especially where it's only phase 2. Not worth to attack right here, but Genji now on the rotation. Indigo hears the bullets, and that's Aqua 5 getting picked up. Great angle from Indigo. Great headshot as well. Won't be the first blood for Genji. And now rest of Genji pulling up, and Nonix already stopped trying to find an angle to park his car.
The struggles continue early on for Genji today. Game number 1 was a disaster. Only losing Aqua 5 in transition, not the end of the world. I have to give Indigo some credit there. That's a sneaky position to be in, and that's some really good shooting. I mean, that was right away. Once he started pulling that trigger, Aqua 5 was basically dead. He had such a great bead onto that angle. Over to Griffin, and they see some of Element Mystic. Element Mystic picked up the 1 point, taking a member of LYG down. I believe it was Migo.
Right.
And Infantry, they have to come in. They made a very wide northern rotation. They're doing a bit of a late shift here. And this is a pretty interesting little maneuver from Infantry. They're happy to play a little bit safer than I would say maybe they normally do. But it makes sense. They're ahead. Actually, the north of this particular circle is very free, so this is a good decision from them.
They're going to be happy to hug around the edge of this northern circle. They don't want to risk anything, especially as game 1 was like top teams biting off each other. I don't think Infantry wants to be part of any of that. Lash taking a bunch of damage in the meantime, down to 25, popping out of smoke, getting in the vehicle, back of the motorcycle. But he's going to be able to, he's only going to be able to pull a band-aid off, because you can't do those medkits as the cars are driving.
Oof.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, they clipped that rock. I think it's okay, though. They were able to control it. I think that interrupted his bandage there, though. Some shots ringing through onto Griffin to provide cover fire for the other members of Element Mystic to make their rotation. They do safely arrive at their final destination. Tianba, again, game number 1 winners as they look to try to shoot their way up the leaderboards. Again, this team perfectly capable of coming through. We've seen it before where they can put up huge days. This time, though, it looks like they're going to have a difficult situation in front of them, although the western side of the circle is completely free. So if they do end up rotating through there, that's not a usual direction to go to kind of try to climb that mountain, although they don't have to because it comes down to the south. So forget everything I just said. They don't have to do any of that just yet. They're okay for now.
They're okay for now, as rest of the 2 teammates, Lin Shun and the other men, can easily join up in the compound where Z9 Max and Lorena is holding on to. Genji, after suffering from the loss of Aqua 5, is going to be in Hacienda del Patron. Is that the right pronunciation?
That was pretty good. Okay. That was pretty good.
Fair enough.
Nice. Nice. Your Spanish is getting better. I like it. So Genji does have a tough situation for themselves. Holding down Hacienda is difficult. It is a pretty good position if you can control it, but there are a couple different angles, especially from the south, that you can approach it from pretty successfully. And because it is such a large facility, there's really just not an easy way to hold down a lot of angles unless you're up on the roofs. But if you're up on the roofs, you do expose yourselves quite a bit to a bunch of different sides of the compound. Now, EM, they are trying to get up ahead of Infantry. Both teams making rotations through the northern part. Who is going to pull up in front of who? Who is going to get in front of who is my big question right now.
Kinch is now leading the race, and he has all the right to stop and start shooting as he can get the sound cues very close by. Longsker right in front of him now. And what's Kinch's decision? He might be caught right in the middle if Infantry decides to pound onto this, but Maknae is going to be putting some fire into it. Kinch trying to block off those vehicles. Is he going to pull over? Or is he going to just continue riding? 9 already taking out his gun just in case anybody decides to stop in their way. But looks like no more blood will happen between those 2 teams. Infantry gets to go into the western edge of the circle. All stars on the rotation being caught off by Genji. Loki and Anonix putting some bullets into Carl, but it looks like the terrain should block him off from any more bullets.
And this is what I'm talking about. You can come up from this southern side pretty safely. All of Luminous Stars come through basically for free. A little bit of damage, but not much, and it's actually going to be Entis that I think got some of the damage done into them. Sungjong coming up the back. Sungjong's got to make these shots land. That's pretty easy shooting. Finally, he does get the headshot on the WNB. Going to get the knock. Should be able to get the res, though, is Luminous Stars. Nobody's really close enough from either team to throw any utility in there. Hold up. EM is pulling up Crazy takes the damage. Kinch is going to get the knock. A good jumping headshot there. Carrot trying to hold the angle. Grenade going to back him off just a little bit. He's going to throw one of his own. Now Kira V taking some damage. That might be 4am off to the side, putting some damage into this. PO is going to find himself a kill on the backside. Carrot going to underhand another grenade through. That one's going to find Kinch, and Kira V forced to prone and hide behind some smoke.
Carrot is going to pop a molly, but Lash is waiting on the other side of the corner. He's going to find the flush. No, he's not. But the smoke is going to cover him from taking more bullets. Carrot now carefully watching on the side of it. Lash gets picked off. You shouldn't be running like that. Lash is dusted, and that they open things up for LYG as Carrot is the last member alive. Kira V, though, he's already taking the blue, and he's going to be pushing up. And he's going to find an angle. He's going to peek out. No, he doesn't check the corner, and that will be punished by Carrot. Why did you do that? You are supposed to check every single corner. Now, Carrot, all blooded out, is going to find another kill. Maknae being the last member alive for Element Mystic.
That was mistake after mistake for Element Mystic. First, it's Lash not being ready to hold the angle around the outside of the smoke. You have to think that somebody could be holding that angle. And then Kira V coming around that corner, doesn't even check it. Just, I mean, you would at least look to maybe see if you could get the flush for free there. Sloppy stuff from Element Mystic. Maknae still alive for them, but that is not saying much as they are outside of the circle. It's going to be very challenging for him. As good as Maknae is for Element Mystic, it is going to be a very, very tough battle. Griffin is going to have to attempt to slog their way through the backside of San Martin. The good news, only one team in front of them, and that's going to be GEX right now. A little bit of Tianba up on the very northern cliff side of San Martin, but in terms of who is actually in San Martin proper, it's just GEX, and that's, for Griffin, I'd say they take that. I feel like they have a pretty good shot if they do have to kind of fight their way through.
Good nade from Carrot. Clips now Maknae to half HP, and now Maknae has to pull that medkit off. Allows Carrot to buy a little bit more time to reposition himself. But what more? This is a phase 4 circle. This thing hurts. Maknae finds a nice bullet, and now he's allowed to push. Carrot's already prone to the ground, trying to pull the medkit off. Maknae popping the nade, and this one, he's counting 1, 2, 3. But no, Carrot is going to burn out to the blue as Maknae, being the last member for Element Mystic, with just a single medkit left. He's going to have to get in the vehicle and go far, but what more he could do? He only has one medkit, not more utilities. And now, Tian is looking for more trouble. Griffin is waiting on the corner. Tian gets picked up. Easy kill, easy come, easy go for Tian.
Wow, that was a bizarre rotation from Tian. I get the idea. You're going to try to get through the safest way you can into what will likely be a circle that shifts more to the north, and the safest way to do that is San Martin. It's trying to establish a beachhead. They just must not have seen Griffin coming through those buildings. I get the idea there, but it is just a little unfortunate for them that somebody was waiting. Infantry scopes this out, says nope, but there is not a lot of other places to go. Tianba already realized this. Now Infantry might suffer because of it. They are rolling up on through as Luminous Stars, Entis, potentially Genji, and others are going to make them pay. 9 himself almost going down in that rotation.
Is that a level 1 helmet for 9, or is that a skin from a level 2 helmet? I'm not exactly sure about 9 taking a bunch of damage, barely surviving that. Griffin having that compound to themselves, earned themselves 1 free kill, but Minsung is going to be pushing up right below Tianba. Z9 Max exiting that compound as the final member on the Overwatch. Good choice, as Griffin wants to pound this one out. But which way could Tianba go possibly? They can come downhill on the southern edge, but that could be an easy spot out for Entis. So there's not that much choice that Tianba could make to live longer for this match, I feel like.
It should, if everybody kind of plays it properly, Tianba should be pretty well boxed out of it. That being said, Tianba's very, very good, and they're able to outduel teams and beat teams in situations they shouldn't, just like Infantry, just like a lot of the teams from China and Korea in these lobbies. They win situations they shouldn't, and I got to give Element 36 some credit. They've done it here in this tournament too. So this circle is big. This one is really, really important. It just kind of goes a little bit northeast, not much, a little bit center. So Genji still very much in it, but a lot of teams are going to be posting up around that southern edge of Hacienda. Let's see how that one plays out. Griffin now finds Infantry as they continue to poke out. Longsker trying to put some damage down. Pio from Genji getting Longsker down to 1 health. Minsung down. It's only 1 up for Griffin. They are absolutely falling apart. This was not the right moment to make this push. There are too many teams here lying in wait, and Griffin goes down in 14th place.
In the meantime, Entis was finding the right time to pound onto Infantry. That's 9 and Longsker down and dusted, leaving just a single and 2 members alive for Infantry. So So now Infantry's bad hurt. This is the moment for Entis. Griffin is already down and done. 134 points, that's just 9 points ahead of them. Entis is 4 alive, and number 1 spot Infantry is 2 members down. If Entis can finish off Infantry, this is their game. This is their game to earn those points, direly needed points to steal the first spot.
Entis really needs it. You're absolutely right. Over to Curzon, they would like some points as well. It has been a struggle compared to the Charity Showdown. Something down to just 4. It is Martian Chun throwing some grenades to buy some time. Forever tries to come up, but Loki makes him pay. Getting a little too sneaky there, a little too slow. Loki's also going to finish him. Curzon breathing a sigh of relief there, as that is going to relieve some of the pressure. Now Entis sending 2 up ahead. It's going to be Sungjang and Under on the front line. Sungjang gets knocked by Pure Boy. E36 already in the circle, able to set up defense. And look who it is once again with an AWM in his hands. It is Sophia. Let's see what this guy has in store.
Boy.
The rest of his team is doing it for him though, Bench.
Pure Boy picked up 3 knocks on his own, and now Kale is the last member. Pure Boy just going for more. This guy's bloodthirsty right now. And Kale, as the last member up for now, pops that SLR. Satel, clean headshot through his eyes. And now Kale looking for more as he's still outside the blue, and Element 36 controls the edge of the circle.
I mean, what incredible stuff here. We just got that shot from Sophia. Great timing by the observers. And down goes Entis, their hopes being dashed once again. The good news for them, Infantry in a bit of trouble as well. So in terms of our top teams, they might get a little bit of relief of pressure. Quadro still in this, however. VSG now trying to contest Element 36. Amanat with a good spray. He's going to get Hulk. He's going to get the finish. Easy prone, easy finish for him. Element 36 coming to play today.
5 kills, 3 on Pure Boy, 1 on each for the rest of the teammates. Zhao Yang finding a headshot of his own. And not a headshot, but easy knock. Longsker down super low. The blue hurts. This is phase 5, about to be phase 6. He just gets in the vehicle, but he has a sliver of health in his pocket. Yan Li, mad spray down, but Chaiwei will explode the vehicle, sending Infantry home. But Entis is down and dusted too. Quadro now looking to make the points happen to steal the first spot. And is it going to be Quadro the victim to lose themselves out?
So look at this by Quadro. Renba goes way out ahead. Now Quadro has to be careful. I'm really curious about what kind of vehicles Quadro has available to group up with Renba. It's a good job to get Renba up there, but you got to be able to get with him to be able to make this work. And there are some teams on the edge, particularly Rush B Gaming, that could potentially ruin your day. I love this shot by the observers. Give me a little bit more. I want to see if they have any vehicles over there, because if they don't, coming through that field is going to be extremely difficult. PO still up on top of Hacienda. Finally, Genji is going to have to kind of move away from Hacienda. Most of the circle not in there. Yowook has the motorcycle, sends it out, gets here with Renba. So now they've at least got 2 up in the middle.
In the meantime, Sophia finds a clean headshot onto Foxy. So that's going to be another knock from the AWM picked up by him. Element 36 now getting the vehicle, trying to fully send it. Remba is going to put bullets into Mental. So that's going to stop VSG from stopping the push from Element 36. Satel is going to fully send it in. Wicked is going to go for the res onto Foxy. That should happen now. There we go. Now Element 36 taking onto the Huts. And they are ready to pound onto VSG.
A little bit of fancy driving there, even from Sophia, coming into there with that, losing his tires and spins right in. 4AM finishes off GEX. Over to this battle that continues between VSG and Element 36. If Element 36 wins this, dude, I am going to be a very, very happy guy, because I love the way they're playing right now. Sylphia looking to throw a smoke down, cover that southern angle, as Mental is down there being a thorn in their side. Luminous Stars wrapping around the outside. Genji hasn't been very aggressive at taking this wall, taking position outside of here. Oh, and good grenades are going to take out a couple members of 4AM. Wayless goes down there. Rui TV takes out DA. And Yacha, he's going to take something down. Renba putting some more shots out as well. So 2 kills for Quadro, but they have wonderful circle position.
All-Stars, instead of fighting Genji, they're going to be moving the downside. D-Lex finding good damage on Tiguto. Nade from Yacha will be enough to knock that out. Rio dishing out a couple bullets, but he won't be able to find any knocks of his own. Now Yacha, with that initial nade, is going to be throwing the second one coming through. Where is it going to be? It's not going to be connecting, as it's going to fall off a little bit far. D-Lex is running into that nade, or is that a smoke? Luckily for him, that's going to be a smoke. And now, Ray TV Looks like he's out of nades, just popping those flashbangs.
Yeah, he's just trying to get as far into the circle as he can manage. D-Lax now is going to wrap around for a flank. Man, this is some crazy aggression from Quadro. Luminous Stars doesn't want anyone coming out of Hacienda. They're trying to set up on the eastern edge of the hill and make someone pay. Back over to Yacha and D-Lax as they continue to put the pressure onto Crest Gaming Xanadu. Xanadu wants to pop through. They're stuck on the edge of this circle, but the new one's going to pop. Yacha already repositioning. Looks like they want to prioritize circle here, does Quadro, and I don't blame them. They are very much in the prime position to potentially win this, and they should be prioritizing position.
As the circle is going to be moving itself upwards, Quadro is going to be happy that their compound is going to be part of it. Element 36 is going to be sharing the compound with VSG. Now D-Lex is going to open up. He's not catching any bodies right now, but he has a barrel and he can make things happen.
Absolutely, positively. D-Lax has been fantastic. Coming in today, 20 kills for him. The guy is special. Some decent damage. My goodness, Yacha is helping out from the back end. This is what I'm talking about. Yacha is an excellent sniper. Here comes some Molotovs right on point, right on top of Aries and Rio. Rio down, Aries on his knees. Rui TV, the only member of Xanadu with breath still inside of him. Rui TV checking his other flank to make sure no one's pushing up on his side, looking to see if he has anything he can possibly sneak out. He's going to get Loki, actually, caught out in the open. Should be able to get this point, at least, for Crest Gaming Xanadu, and he's going to suffer to the blue and go down, along with Xanadu out in 6th place, and this is so challenging here for Anonix, stuck between Luminous Stars, who are now dead. Forget that, they're done, and Quadro is in front of him now.
I think that was the final bullet in the magazine for Anonix to make things happen. In the meantime, Pure Boy is going to be knocked out. Aminot clearing out those angles. Wicked is going to be finding a decent angle to Aminot, but none of these bullets will connect. Wicked just, oh god, you should be accurate with those. Aminot punishes Wicked for flicking a little too early. And now Quadro, knowing this action happening in that big warehouse, Remba's going to find a couple of bullets into Sophia. That's going to be knocked out. Satao is going to finish off Foxy. And now VSG is gone. Quadro, 4 strong, actually.
Element 36 putting up a statement here that's saying we are good enough to contend with any of the other teams. They are incredible right now. Still a couple members up, but we'll see if this next circle is favorable to them or not. Anonix still kicking for Gen G. If he can pull off some heroics, if he can get a win here, I tell you what, that would make up for a lot of his underperformance so far. He has such a tough situation. Good stun. Max Yowick up there trying to come up over the hill. He is done. Yowick's going to finish him off. Gen G gets 3rd. Quadro versus Element 36, a 4v2.
4v2 where Element 36 has not much of the circle to work at. There's outside of it, and right in front of them is going to be just couple of haystacks, and I don't know how many smokes they have, but this is going to be a hard rotation into the next one. Quadro, they're going to be spread out nicely. D-Lax is already in the center part of the circle, and looks like this is most likely a done deal for Quadro.
I think Quadro has this one in the bag. Element 36, not sure what the utility situation is. Satao is hurt. It's going to take a lot of smokes to cover enough of the angles to get forward, especially with D-Lax coming out here, really eliminating the options they have, and there you go. Satao down, Aminat the only one up. The walls closing in here. Aminat is just trying to see if he can maybe hold an angle, sneak out an over-aggressing player of Quadro. Plenty of fire coming down. He might even just try to opt to eat this blue here. A grenade is going to do a bunch of damage, and indeed, the blue does finish it. Quadro taking a big win. A counterpunch to Infantry's 2nd place finish in game number 1. They want this tournament.
I think Quadros is now 1 point behind Infantry.
I think it's really close.
It's really close. We're about to see the leaderboard happening anytime soon, but because in the first game, all the top 5 teams were kind of slowed down by other teams. In the second game, Quadro could have been slowed down, but rest of the top 5 was slowed down, and Quadro was like the only team there, and Quadro definitely took the chance. They were like, okay, this is our game now, and they made it happen, and now look where they are going to be at.
I love it. I mean, if these guys can come through and win today, it would be one of the most interesting and awesome stories in competitive PUBG. A team that has been around for forever in Korea. A team that has fought so hard, that has struggled for so long just to make it to international stages. Yowick has been their lone member who has been there since the get-go. He has been there from the start for Quadro. He has been fighting and clawing his way through. And if they come through, I tell you what, I might get a little emotional about it because I have been watching them since the very first tournament I have casted for all of 2019. I talked about Quadro as my dark horse, as a team that I thought had potential to come through and maybe make it to one of the bigger international events. And here in 2020, they're finally getting it done. And it is exciting to see. And you got to give all these other three guys, along with Yowick, a ton of credit. They are nuts.
Because Quadro picks up this game, this makes things just even more confusing for us to decide who's going to be the winner, because Quadro is going to be right behind or past Infantry. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. 19 points. So they're going to be the first spot. Element 36, as Pure Boy picked up 3 knocks onto Entis, is going to be sitting at 13 points with 7 kills. Gen G, though, a little bit more valiant effort for them. 7 kills in that. That's going to be 12 points. On the right-hand side, the top tier teams, Infantry is going to be sitting at 1, Tiamba at 1, Griffin at 2 points. So these teams are definitely slowed down. Entis as well, sitting at only 3 kills.
Yeah, Quadro, they love looking at the right-hand side of this leaderboard. Everybody else that is close to them is on it. So it's a very good push for them to make. And 1 point behind. One point separates them from first place. Griffin in third, 6 points behind all of that, guys. There are so many more games to go. 3 more games to go. 1 more Miramar, 2 more Erangels to decide the winner of PCS 1 Asia. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
The kick that it holds, the level 3 gear that he's going to control as well. But what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Okay, that's a bit weird, but whatever. Jumps into the back of the...
Just yet, so 3 of 3 creeping by, and oh my god, we're getting a demolition derby coming in here. Honey Badger finding himself in a little bit of trouble, so trying to see if he can maybe get out of this position, but reinforcements rolling through as it is just a drive-by right on top of Pintalol. He gets dropped out of his vehicle, and Landoon says, hey, I'll come by.
You confirm back into the circle. They were struggling to get off of Everest. Look at the nades coming in. Oh my god! This looks pretty rough for Bahumat Gaming. Nice nades from Haisaki and...
여우 선수가 있습니다. 왼쪽 오른쪽 위에서 체력이 좀 많이 빠졌어요. 6발이라도 눕힐 수 있어요 이건.
Catch you off guard. So Yaxley might be in a bit of trouble, but Oath is driving themselves right into Victor. He's hiding behind this rock. Can he find that? Knock doesn't. We're just going to go ahead and crash onto this rock, but Wolf is immediately taken down. Balefrost looks for it, but he falls himself. Oh.
主动理性主要是这一波灵性拉房檐，其实说实话，主要是 4M 听到了脚步声，这一波提前枪，对方是赶紧侧身绕了回去。没想到是怎么楼上还有人啊！进来了，高点一头，这一波
And now just Squeaky Dance. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Now a 1v3. That a step too far, I feel. Ooh, hello, Squeaky, let's go. Let's go on the 1v2. Show me what you got. Surely he doesn't get another chance. You can deny all the... Squeaky, you're an animal. Do it, Squeaky, please. Just do it.
If he does this.
Oh my god, Micah. The nade comes out, the flush comes in. Micah's got an AK to hand, he's just on the right side. He might have the off angle. Squeaky doesn't... Oh my god!
And welcome back. PCS 1 Asia, almost halfway through the day. Games number 1 and 2 done. Miramar almost over. We have 1 more Miramar to go bench, and then 2 Erangels. Quadro with a huge win to put themselves within 1 point of Infantry Gaming.
Infantry sitting at 141 points. as they were knocked out earlier on the game. That allowed Quadro to pick up those win points, and the win conditions are here for Quadro now. Just 1 point away from the win.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Quadro right now. Griffin, Entis still very well in it. A couple of other teams definitely still keeping on our eye on them. I mean, you got to look at Tianbo, who won game number 1. They climbed up there. There's plenty of teams still in this. Element 36, you got to give them a ton of credit today. They're playing very, very well. It's going to be nigh impossible for them to get the win. However, they're playing super good PUBG right now. Their individual skills are really starting to shine through. Their team is really starting to pick it up here today on the backs of some great performances from Sophia so far. The rest of the team today looking strong as well. And their rotations everything is good for them. So I wanted to give them a huge shout out because they're playing very, very well.
Because Infantry couldn't earn any points in that last match, and we're already 2 matches through out of the 5 today. This puts things even in the middle of the heat where players are like, okay, we have a good chance of winning this. And even for us viewers, we're like, this is really tight. This is very interesting to watch.
Oh, it's super, super good. Renba, your top damage dealer from that game. 724 big points of damage. Took that middle shack early for Quadro. Held it down with great efficiency. Yowook came and helped him. Then you had D-Lax and Yacha doing a heroic effort with basically a 2v3 or a 2v4 on Crest Gaming Xanadu, completely bodying them to the edge of the circle.
That's going to be Foxy sitting in third spot with 465 damages. Wayla sitting at 440 from 4 a.m. Pure Boy, though, we can see him on the last spot for top 5 because he was the one going in huge, taking out Entis that game. So he took out 2 with the barrel, and he took out another player using his SLR.
He's been really big here today for Element 36. And again, we said at the beginning that somebody else besides Sophia on Element 36 needs to pick it up for them to have a good shot at maybe making the top 5. And so far today, it's been Pure Boy. Satao, I think, playing well here today for them. So we move over. Pio had 520 damage. Genji getting some benefit of having Hacienda del Patron in the middle of that circle for quite some time. So Pio, of course, he's going to get up on that roof and use whatever DMR is in his hands and just wreak havoc onto the other teams. Not so good here so far for EM. It looked like they had some confidence, some spring in their step coming into the game 1, but then right away Lash went down, and since then hasn't been too good for them.
Even in game 2, Lemon Mystic couldn't face off the other team they were looking into. I think that was either LYG or Rush B Gaming. I'm not exactly sure. One of the Chinese teams, I believe.
Oh, it was LYG.
LYG, yeah. I just didn't understand the way Element Mystic would set up that push. One player wasn't looking at the direction that he was supposed to look, and the other player who pushed into the hut was like not checking the corners correctly. And eventually, these small mistakes add up to a vital, critical moment where you just lose out.
Yeah, I mean, it was mistake after mistake for Element Mystic in that situation where they had a pretty good start to the fight, getting Crazy knocked early. That should have been pretty decent for them maybe to trade or get a 2v1 or something like that. They weren't able to do it. Griffin picked poorly. Their timing was not good on that rotation outside of San Martin. I really thought they might try to just move their way to the northwest part of San Martin where GEX was and just try to fight it out that way. Instead, they came around the southeast, and I thought they might have had the information that Tianbo was up there. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they thought Tianbo had left already. Not sure, because if a team is up on that hill to the southeast of San Martin, you're dead to rights. I mean, they can see you from basically anywhere when you leave the city.
Quadro, our last game winner, Yowook looks so relieved. Look at his face, the smile and the way he is talking to Yacha and D-Lex. And Rep, they're all smiling, actually, the 4 squad. Very happy.
They should be. They should be. These guys have a real shot to do something special here. Win their first international tournament. The chance is there. It's time to go. They have infantry in front of them. It's only their second international tournament ever for them. And if they win it, it will be quite the moment. Game number 3, the final Miramar of PCS 1 Asia begins now. The lobby is up. We are going to be getting into the plane very, very soon. Good Lord, nobody wants this circle to end there except for me. So I tell you what, I drank a lot of coffee. We're going to get it in here. I will try to summon a crazy circle right now. Here you go.
I mean, you've done that for Europe.
I did it. Well, I helped Europe. Sims did the heavy lifting there. I got to give Sims all the credit for those crazy circles that we saw in Europe, and I got to give Xenox and Elfish Guy the credit for the APAC crazy circles. They're doing a good job. Well, okay, I helped out with the APAC one. I was drinking a bunch of coffee, but the Europe one, Sims definitely called that one. Especially with the Zarky. So props to my guy out there bringing in those wonderful, wonderful crazy circles. The plane path is pretty Western heavy, not the best of plane paths, especially if you want to go over to a place like Cruz de Valle or El Azahar or that kind of thing.
Land Circle once again, like the Korean qualifier one.
Oh, please.
Where farm PC just farmed points.
Like that was so good. That was such a good game, dude. I'll never forget that game. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget that game. APK Prince completely throwing it. It was like the icing on that cake. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a fun game that was. I would love to see that. I haven't seen a proper prison finish. That was like the Los Higos area. Well, the island over to the east of Los Higos is where that one finished. I would love to see an actual proper prison finish. So I'm trying to gather my powers and summon something crazy for you guys. We'll see. And Team Quadro, just power grid as per usual. Nothing too crazy for them. This has been their home for quite some time on Miramar, and they love to work it. They love to work the edges of the Picado Mountains, I will say. If circles go that direction, Quadro is very happy to set up shop over there. First circle, come on, baby. Let's do it. Let's go.
Where's that going to be?
Okay, there's potential. It doesn't look likely.
11% chance. We're going to be looking at Iguto firing up with that M16. Can he land any bullets, though? If he does, that just will be detrimental to anyone in the air. That's going to be 4 a.m. forever.
Oh, he's out of bullets.
He's out of bullets. If he had 30 more, I have a good feeling he would have at least landed like one bullet. There, that's Lou actually taking a little bit of damage in the meantime. So, that was very close. And now Iguto going again. He found 90 more bullets.
Come on.
Let's see. One? No. Those bullets are going to be flying right by like shooting stars. Actually, it's going to be his teammates. Ariz is going to be shooting as well. So is Rio. Picked up a gun. God, they're shooting very far away, and those bullets, look at that, just passing by left and right.
Some of those are pretty close. I mean, we saw a few of those tracers fly right by forever. Way less panning around, just having a good go of it here. He's got the cowboy hat on as well. Yeehaw. Oh, whoa. Okay, so way less. Did he get in a fight with GEX here? Or is this from the last game? That's got to be from the last game. Okay. Whoa, that's some good crowd shooting there.
1v3.
Whoa, and he drags to get the finish there for way less. What a moment for him. I'm sad we missed that. That is incredible.
Spray control is the top tier skill players need. He's going to be panning just a little bit more, flipping those pancakes. Now, Infantry, they were knocked out early last game. In this game, they really have to push out to make the gap against Quadro to have the win conditions, especially they're going to be moving into Erangel for match number 4 and 5. They want to pick up as many points as possible if they can on Miramar, utilizing the best skills they have, the best skill set they have, close quarter combats.
Yeah, I fully agree. While I said I kind of liked their rotation, it was outside of their playstyle early on where they wrapped way around up by almost to all, I think they might have even gone all the way up to about Torre Ahumada and came on down into the northern part of the circle. It was nice early on because it was open, but as time went through, it kind of exposed them to some bad situations, and they weren't really able to overcome it in traditional infantry style. And I think you're right. Close-up fights are really their bread and butter, and taking those, putting themselves in situations to find those is really what they should be focusing on. Now, this time they are kind of dead center in the circle. They didn't go all the way over to Impala because of the plane path. Again, they've been bounced out of Chumacera by Tianba, so they are taking the road, some of the trash looting that runs from Los Leones up to Monte Nuevo.
94 kills for Quadro. That's some huge numbers, setting them at kill rank number 1. And the Alex on the final rotation from their team. Don't run into the rock. Yawok is going to stop by this little trash can, so to speak, to pick up extra smoke for himself. No nades, but 3 smokes. Enough utilities.
Totally worth. Almost every pro I talk to says that smokes are maybe the most OP thing in the game because of what you can do with them if you're smart with them. They are really the thinking man's PUBG utility. All right, Lin Shun might be in trouble. Silver is right here. Lin Shun should by all rights be done. He gets behind the vehicle in time. He's able to find enough of the side of the mountain to run down. Silver's going to throw a grenade. Lin Shun is just booking it out of here. hoping he can get back to his teammate. He wants nothing to do with that fight, and I don't blame him.
That was a nice spot that Lynch just stopped. There was enough of a ditch, or what do you call this, elevation for him to hide himself from taking any more bullets right as he got off. So just lucky enough for him to get out from this action. Now Silver is booking it as well and doesn't want to run into Tiamba. And now looking back over towards Griffin, 2Heart on the farm, on the mission, going to be getting into the buggy and joining up with his teammates. He was averaging 2.3 kills and averaging 420 damage a match. And this is not like a full game. This is averaging per match. Some crazy statistics. So you were telling me before that if you're averaging like 1.5 and above, you're a great player.
Yes.
2.3 is like next level. That's like some PO stuff too.
Right. I would say he's maybe... no, he's not maybe. He is the best player right now in PCS1 Asia. Completely insane. The kill leader coming into today. The damage leader by quite a bit. The only other player who has 5,000 damage even. Now keep this in mind. Let's just say this. This is absolutely insane. This is how insane 2Heart has been. 6,478 damage coming into today for him. The next closest player is Longsker with 5,200. He's doing over 1,000 more damage total than any other player. That's crazy.
And even for kills too, he's sitting at 34 kills. That's like nothing like nobody else.
No one's close. I guess 9 from infantry, kind of close. He had 28 coming into today, but even still,
6 more.
Yeah, that's like 3 games of PUBG. Basically, that's 3 PUBG games that he essentially, if you think about it, if you're averaging, like, let's say you're averaging 2 kills a game, that's 3 games of PUBG that he has done better than 9 in. And that's why it makes such a big difference. Why Griffin is right up there at the top.
But this time around, Griffin will be slowed down in the first 2 games, picking a couple kills, picking a couple points, but nothing major to leapfrog themselves up front of anyone else. So I feel like Griffin at this point is like, they want to let go of Miramar as fast as possible. Like, things are not going great for them in the first 2 matches. Third match, hopefully they can pick up more points, but I think they might be really looking forward to switching things over to Erangel because it's not working out right now.
Yeah, it hasn't been a great Miramar for them for sure. This circle, though, it's one of the ones that they like. They love these mountains on the southern end. So unless this one hard shifts up to the north, which it very well could.
Crazy. You gotta be turning your handles in the right time. He's gonna be taking a 30, 20 something damage, 21 by running the car into the truck.
I feel like a lot of these players need to like go through like like an off-road driving school. Like during the off season, like find like a professional off-road racer to just like give them the basics of off-road driving. Because I think that actually, I'm dead serious when I say this. Rotations are so hard on Miramar because of the way the terrain is and the vehicles just don't handle it super well for the most part. Maybe go get some practice. Maybe that could be a huge advantage. I mean, timing is everything in PUBG. Getting ahead, every little second that you can get ahead of your opponent matters.
ATV.
Oh, okay. If we had ATVs, that would be pretty cool.
Oh god, that would be a great addition to the game.
Yeah.
But looking at Quadro on the rotation, eating blue, going on the eastern edge of the circle through Los Leones, or are they going to go far down south and take the furthest road down there, as both places are going to be quite empty, actually?
Yeah, that's what I would expect. Quadro might not do that. They don't typically make really long rotations. They like to kind of be a little bit ahead of the game. It's not even too often, honestly, that you see them tanking blue. They do it from time to time, but not as consistently as a team like Curazon or Element Mystic or Griffin. Even Genji will eat a lot of blue. And this circle, my powers, how strong are they today? Let's find out. I drank a lot of coffee. Let's do it.
Oh, God.
Yes. There's still a chance. There's still a chance that we end up on that little island. It's not good, but there's a chance, bench.
If that third phase becomes half-half, oh god, this is going to be disastrous, because those islands are hard to swim across.
Oh, they're...
you absolutely cannot.
You can go under the bridge. That's about your only option. Otherwise, you're really hurting to get across. I think we saw somebody do it. I think it was VSG who might have done it.
APK Prince as well.
Yeah, I think they did, yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the action. Entis is going to kind of group up. It looks like I think they might try another 2-2 split here, but this time they have bullied a team out. Oh, VSG and Element 36 going at it again. Once again, Sophia coming through big for them, taking down Wicked. VSG is struggling mightily against this team from Japan. Pureboy going to get his heal off as VSG looking to fend this push off if it becomes that. Foxy takes a little bit of a stun, not too big of a deal. VSG doesn't like this position anymore, and I don't blame them. The numbers advantage are there. Oh, taking a bunch of damage. They're just able to get out, though.
So Pureboy found the initial knock onto Wicked, so this guy is shattering the Koreans apart right now. Ever since the last game, taking 3 knocks onto Entis, taking 1 knock onto VSG. Looks like he wants even more, but that's going to be Maps from LYG walking right into the faces of Griffin as a scout. But Griffin is going to be quiet until they hear the vehicles. Here we go, Min's already popping out. And Two Heart as well from up top of the mountain. Migo is going to be running down towards Minsung. Minsung is going to get active with those bullets, and that's going to be Minsung taking a knock.
There you go. Migo down. Migo finished. We'll see if they can pick up much else. Carrots is very hurt as well, but so far no other knocks or deaths for LYG. Crazy looking up over the hill with his barrel. Oh no, Meetsug has no idea. Meetsug just able to get behind that rock in time, but the grenade from Crazy, if it is on point, should be good. Never mind, it's going to be Silver, excuse me, from forever away for Rush B Gaming. Guys, that is a good half a kilometer away that Silver just got that knock onto Meensung. Meensung in a whole bunch of trouble. He's so lucky those grenades aren't making it over. He might die anyway.
Just the way he's crawling around, dodging those bullets. He got lucky to live any moment longer. Asura down to half HP is going to be able to pop the med off. 2-tap with a bolt. If that was an SLR, he could have made LYG pay, but looks like this one he has to shoot and load, shoot and load. And apparently that just won't work out right now. Yanli from up top, though, is going to find the angle to 2-tap. Luckily for 2-tap, he's going to be able to drive right in front of the shack to cover himself for a little longer.
I mean, Griffin's fine if one team comes through here in their trap, but now there's 2 and Rush B Gaming from long distance. So the positioning on this trap, not quite ideal for a couple different reasons for Griffin. Asura down by Maps. This is all falling apart for Griffin, a team that looked so strong yesterday. And like you said, Miramar, they want to get off of it, and they might just go out very soon. 2-tap, the only one left, seeing if he can recover anything. He gets a bunch of damage in it. Crazy gets the knock. Is he going to be able to get the finish, though? LYG is pushing hard. They don't want to let it happen, and it is not going to. Maps comes through, takes 2-tap, and Griffin out of the match.
Not like this, Griffin. I was talking about like getting out of this map, not like the match. So there's a big difference there. Looking over towards Rush B Gaming, Silver from forever away is going to be landing more bullets. I don't know if he was lucky enough to get the second one, but the circle is going to be a little unfortunate on our end. Fortunate on the player's end.
I tried.
It's not going to be the island.
I tried. We didn't get down there. I tried, guys. But this one's still a pretty good circle regardless. Infantry now looking at EM, who is pushing their way through. Zhao Yang, the only member of Infantry in this particular compound. But right now, no clues for EM that he is there. They might have saw bullying, though. I think Kira V is pretty intent over kind of in that direction. Oh, no. Longsker gets the knock. Trap sprung. Pinch goes down. What in the world? That was going to be 9. It looked like that was Longsker's knock.
I know, right?
But it's actually 9 who's going to get it. He finishes off Maknae as well. So EM, the scouting, it needs adjustment because they keep running into bad situations.
Boliang is going to find the headshot onto Kira V. So he's gonna have to pull that medkit off it. Now his positions has been revealed, and Longsker and Boliang doesn't want to let that one pass. God, that was hard to say.
Absolutely not. Longsker puts Kira V down. This is perfection from Infantry. They barely take any damage. 3 points for them. It's going to be Lash who has to completely rethink coming into this circle. There is nothing left available for him to have. He has to do something completely different. I'm not sure what he's going to be thinking because Longsker is still quite in his way. Still has the high ground over to the side there, and I don't know. An Onyx knock for Genji. Struggles continue, but Aqua 5 able to finish Lu. So only one knocked for Genji, and he hasn't been flushed out just yet. This is taking place over way on the southwest corner of Los Leones. Aqua 5 got to be careful, though. Wayless has a pretty good angle. Aqua 5 has a ditch to work with, so he's going to back down. Wayless now starts to open up. Aqua 5 forced into his ditch as he is A-OK for now. Wayless starting to eat some blue.
For Wayless's position is way exposed. I don't know which angle he can enter the circle. Inonix taking the rest, so he should be fine. Pio, though, he is also outside the circle, so he's going to pop in that motorcycle and join up with his teammates, most likely forever. And is going to be hugging right by the street, right by the road, and he might be able to catch any Gen G players off guard if he decides to pop out at the right time, if nobody's looking at his way. For example, in Onyx, he's going to pop the nade, and if that nade doesn't do anything, he's going to be turning his back away and checking other angles.
Yeah, in Onyx, you can see suffered a bunch of damage to his head in that knock that he took. As Wayless now is going to come through, try to be distraction for 4AM, maybe. Oh, Yowook might help out here. Yowook's running across. ZGG not able to get the knock. Yowook very, very hurt. Stops up in that warehouse. He's going to have to get some heals off. The rest of Quadro coming in behind. As now ZGG is going to try to push forward, but Anonix is waiting. The spray comes through. Some damage being done. No knocks yet, as he's going to reposition, seeing if he can catch 4AM being forced into a different position. That grenade's going to force him back a little bit even more. Quite a bit of damage with that one landing. Now it's Infantry's 9 getting into this, and that's another half a kilometer away. Aqua 5 doing some damage too. Wayless goes onto his knees. Forever has to prone and try to hope for some kind of mistake from Gen G.
In the meantime, Lash is like in his vehicle. I don't want to get into this. He repositions himself a little bit farther away so he can find a better angle. Pio is going to be spraying right onto those containers and those angles that players could possibly peek their head out from. But unluckily for him, nobody's in there. Remba now is trying to punish 4AM before beating his teammate down. Great headshot coming from Remba. That's going forever, knocked in the blue, and Remba finds another tip of the head onto ZGG. And now ZGG wants to just stay prone. Not more he could do at this position, as Wayless and Forever is both knocked out, especially for Forever. He's in the blue.
The situational awareness from Remba, so good there. Getting that knock on Forever, knowing exactly where ZGG was, turns right away to see if ZGG was trying to take advantage of it. Yowook, oof. Eguto comes up. I don't know if Yowook even knew he was there. Eguto is going to get that one quick and easy. ZGG now rolling up behind Quadro. Quadro is now going to full-on send it into Crest Gaming Xanadu, want to get some revenge onto the loss of their leader. We're watching Infantry, who's above Lash. Lash is stuck behind that Murado. Infantry doesn't seem to be really interested in looking down this way. You would think they suspect that maybe someone's down there, but maybe not. D-Lax taking some damage here as the battle rages on between Crest Gaming Xanadu and Quadro.
We might be looking at Curzon trying to join into this battle far away, as players may have to leave this compound. They could be taking bullets. Anonix gets completely done by the nade over there. It looks like Lash's patience has paid off. He gets to live a little bit longer as Infantry players are rotated out. Remba just got in that vehicle a little too early. ZGG will punish him for that. Lash now pushing out from that blue. Looks like Infantry players haven't spotted him out. This is Lash's moment. He's waiting for the moment. He's popping the nade. And if that connects to Bo Liang, he can easily spray down 9, who's really low. That's super low. There we go. That's one knock. Bo Liang takes one more bullet and another nade coming through. Is that going to connect? But the head doesn't work out for Lash. Oh. That's going to be it for Element Mystic.
So Element Mystic down. A whole bunch of Gen G goes down to Infantry as well. Despite the flank from Lash, they're able to weather the storm. This Infantry team, too strong, too tough. They are so good right now. They are setting themselves even further apart from Quadro, who is suffering mightily. A good grenade from Eguto, who is absolutely a one-man wrecking squad here onto Quadro. Get some help from ZGG this time. D-Lax put down as well. For some reason, Quadro not able to deal with that solo. This is why you have to be so good about flushing out your backside, because a solo member can make it so difficult. Lash tried with Infantry. ZGG doing a good job against Quadro, and this completely opens the door for Infantry to rotate in.
And now ZGG, he's looking right down at Infantry. I don't know what his plan is. His vest and helmet is very weared out, really low on HP. I don't know what more he could do. Looking over towards Tiamba and GEX, 2 members already knocked. Maui and Chai Wei about to be flushed out. Lorena going for the push. The flashbang will not blind anybody. Leo and the rest of GEX is going to be seeing right outside to hold off any further pushes as they sacrifice their teammates.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough for them. Yeah, it's not the worst position to be in, but it's not the best. I mean, definitely Entus feeling pretty good. Element 36 once again continues their fantastic performance on Miramar, and I would say in general, from what I've seen of Japanese teams, Miramar tends to be a strong map. They really seem to have a pretty good understanding of how to maneuver and play on here. 4AM ZGG still alive, blasts his way into the shack. Nobody's in there, so it's okay. He's just, I mean, it gets rid of the door, I guess, and you know, just in case somebody's in there, you got to go for it. Still outside of that next circle, though. Infantry loses 9, of course, to that wonderful sneaky play by Lash. And now it is challenging. You can see that downhill approach that they have in front of them. Entus, this is a little bit weird. The reason they're not holding that warehouse is because it's really challenging. If teams push up from the western side, there's a lot of cover for teams to get underneath you in, and really, you're really exposed. You're open to throwables as well from that western side, so quite a challenging position, and I think Entus doing a smart positioning here, trying not to hold it down.
Looks like Infantry is going to be sending it into the circle. Xiaoyang, luckily enough, not taking any damage. Those motorcycles are fast. It might be right in the face of Genji. Alco 5, he's going to be ran over. Longsker is going to send Genji home. And guys, this is prime Asia for you. We've been giving you guys players getting ran over, running over themselves, running over each other every single day.
Crazy stuff. Somehow Luminous Stars gets wiped by LYG, and Longsker adds to his list of impressive ways that he wrecks other teams. And this time it's Aqua 5 going down. What a move by Infantry. And they get closer to the center of the circle, and no one's making them pay for it. Excellent timing, excellent movement from them once again. Tianba having a solid game, but now they got to deal with Rush B Gaming. But they have the high ground. They both have an edge of the circle. Neither one has to push through here. Although Rush B Gaming, we've seen them be one of the most aggressive teams in this Asia region lobby so far, in both the Charity Showdown and in PCS1 bench.
They don't mind running into teams that are knowingly stronger for them, but looking over towards Yacha, he has a great angle towards Crest Gaming. Xanadu, he doesn't want to open up until he knows players are knocked out. There we go. He's going to be moving a little bit downwards to find a better angle. That spray down is not going to connect, and he'll be punished by Rio. That's Quadro out at 11th, and this might be the chance for Entus to move themselves up on the board.
Absolutely. They're in a good position to do it. They've got to fend off a push from Curzon. Rush B Gaming still busy with Tianba and a little bit of LYG poking in at Silver, who has pushed up ahead, successfully gaining a little bit of ground more towards the center of the circle. Songjang looking at LYG. He hears those shots. How much does Entus know that Curzon is right at their doorstep? That's a really important question for me right now. Just right into the open arms. Something steals that kill from Boliang. That's a little unfortunate for him, because that should have been free and easy. But Curzon, that's going to alert Entus to their presence for sure. Entus now, they are looking towards Crest Gaming Xanadu, who's trying to use smokes to move forward into the circle.
Infantry, though, they're outside a circle, and they might just have a decent angle enough to catch off any teams on the rotation, although they are the teams to rotate in as well. Crest Gaming now running down the hill. Could be running right into the crosshairs. There you go. That's Pure Boy actually taking the kill onto ZGG4AM out at 10th. And now Entus with some awareness that Curzon is right below them, ready to ring the bell for them. Kale finds a headshot onto Iguto from Crest Gaming, so that's going to open things up.
Gut check moment for OG and Entus now, as they have been given the center of the Phase 6 circle, and they have the compound. So we'll see what they can make out of it. Only one kill so far. I talk about this a lot, where if you're given a central compound in a circle, a lot of it comes down to how many points can you get off of kills, picking off teams in rotation. This compound, not the best for it, not the worst. Kale does finish off a Guto, so that's another point there for Entus. It is Tianba now sending it through ahead of VSG and Element 36. They Tianban runs right into that broken down truck, gets out of his vehicle, takes a little bit of damage there in the process, but should be able to roll up along the side of that lip. No problem. There is your overview of what Entus has on their northern side.
It's a pretty good spot for Tianba to pull Dina and Max already, finding an angle onto Hulk. Hulk down to super low HP, has to position himself behind a barricade to heal up. Xiaoyang now pushing up. That barrel is going to find the knock onto Pure Boy. If Pure Boy pressed onto the gas pedal, that would have been him getting ran over. Now Satel finds a knockback into Xiaoyang and finds a second spray down. That's not going to be accurate, and that's going to be Bo Liang actually taking a bunch of damage, and finally Satel finds a knock. Infantry being shattered apart. Longsker to final number alive.
Here we go, E36. The Heartbreakers today, once again, infantry in their sights. Grenades coming through. Longsker pulling back, trying to survive somehow. Something from Curzon hears this, wants to get some points. DA moving up along his western flank. That grenade bounces, does some damage to Longsker. Longsker going for the first aid. The blue pressing in. He only has so much more time. DA and Something really want some points. So does Tianba. They're going to flank on the backside of the SG. Longsker just able to get his first aid off. Comes over the hill. Something has no idea it's coming. That could be a twofer for Longsker. Proning down his DA, just not able to control the spray. Longsker goes down to DA.
DA saving Curzon from going out. Luckily enough, he was able to prone just before he gets wiped out. In the meantime, the nade from Lorena is going to wipe out Element 36, but great effort from Element 36. Now they're moving themselves off the board, already at 7th place. There's still 2 more games to go. But this comes down to Entis and Tianba. 4 members alive for both teams. So is Rushby Gaming and LYG, 2 members up.
Endis doesn't want Tianba to get anywhere closer to them. You can see the leaderboard over there on the left. Tianba is right behind in 5th place of Entis' 4th place. Curzon, they have some work to do. They could try to swing north. They could just go straight back in, try to get underneath Entis. Regardless, it's not going to be the easiest of movements for the Curzon guys. Rushby Gaming now has found the western edge of this compound. It looks like them and Tianba might be gearing up to square off in just a second. Pow Pow, in fact, cooking up that stun. Going to throw it up. Nobody really there to catch a lot of the flash and the disabling effect of that stun just yet, as Linshun putting some shots down to back off Civi.
LYG in a beatdown vehicle is going to be going for the rotation. DA waiting by the rock. Something having a side angle, off angle to a DA, waiting patiently. He's going to start opening up, but he's going to be knocked up by Indigo, so there's not much more he can do. And Entis wants to take all the kill points they could take. Under already pushing out. He has that SLR in the hand. Indigo with those nades are going to be throwing it right into the face of Something. Something has just so low health that Songjang is able to finish him off. But Rushby Gaming doesn't want to let this one pass. Pow Pow comes from the side. Under is taken down to super low HP, and Silver finally takes the knock onto it.
Yeah, they got to play defense now. Entis has to keep Rushby Gaming from pushing over and getting underneath them. Can they get to Under? A good grenade bounces!
Oh, God!
Just gets on top of Pow Pow. That's 2 members of Rushby Gaming down. What a bounce that one took. But Tianba Gaming hot on top of this. They want to get the potatoes off of this map. Lorena is on his knees. It is 3 up for Tianba, but they are going to get a knock and a finish quickly. Silver, all of a sudden, the only one, although he does get the res on the Pow Pow, so now 2 for Rushby Gaming. Entis wants to come through. Indigo, how much does he realize that they are right there? Oh, Kale didn't see Pow Pow. No, Silver's going to outduel him anyway. Indigo comes over, gets the headshot, takes him down. Actually, it's going to be Z9, excuse me, gets Silver. Kale going down to Pow Pow, but Rushby Gaming is sandwiched between Tianba and Entis.
Tian's going to peek up from the top, and there you go. That's Tianba Gaming coming up huge and finally taking another win for themselves to move themselves up the leaderboard.
I don't know how they didn't see Pow Pow down there. That's a big, big moment there for Entis, and they just didn't, their eyes just didn't see it. He's down in that bush, and then Tianba doing a fantastic job third-partying all of that fighting. It's what they are really, really strong at. The second win of the day for Tianba Gaming, and that is going to put them very, very close to Entis. I don't think they're quite ahead, but they're going to be really damn close.
We're about to see what happens to the leaderboard in just a minute, just a couple seconds even. But because Tianba takes game number 3, I believe, this puts us in even bigger confusion that who has the winning title at the end of the day.
It's going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely nuts. Infantry Quadro went out pretty early. All things considered, Infantry picked up a few points. At least Quadro didn't really get much out of all of that. So the Griffin went out very, very early. I think they might have got 1 point, maybe. It was an absolute disaster for Griffin there, getting sandwiched between a couple teams over on the southwestern part of the circle trying to set up a trap. There's Quadro. Crest Gaming Xanadu doing a lot of the hurt to them. Here's Lash's attempt. Somehow, some way, not able to control that spray well enough with his M4. Grenade right in the face of the Quadro guys. Some fancy driving from Infantry right into Aqua 5. Great stuff from them as they get a highlight reel kill. Another one. Yeah, you're right. If Pure Boy just keeps going, if he doesn't slow up there, he's got a run over for himself.
It's especially hard with the motorcycles because the hitbox is so small that you have to like really accurate to run a player over, and apparently Aqua 5 was just unfortunately was going to be right in front of the hitbox. But here's our match leaderboard. Tianbo with 16 points, not very big, but something still to make themselves up the leaderboard. LYG 11, Entis at 11, so they're happy with that result for sure.
Yeah, this is not bad for Entis. They don't want to see Tianba up there. That's not exactly what they want. They don't want to see Infantry 1 point behind them. Infantry with 9 kills. Somehow Infantry just gets it done, and that is going to set them even further apart from Griffin and the others. I tell you what, this is looking good for Infantry, man. They are playing well enough. It isn't like a, incredible, crazy go nuts day for Infantry, but right now it's good enough for 10 points ahead of Quadro. Behind them is Entis in 3rd place. Can anybody catch the Infantry boys from China? You guys should stay with us to find out. We will be back shortly with the conclusion. 2 more games of Erangel for PCS1 Asia.
The kick that it holds, the level 3 gear that he's going to control as well. But what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Okay, that's a bit weird, but whatever. Jumps into the back of the...
Just yet, so 3 of 3 creeping by, and oh my god, we're getting a demolition derby coming in here. Honey Badger finding himself in a little bit of trouble, so trying to see if he can maybe get out of this position, but reinforcements rolling through as it is just a drive-by right on top of Pintalol. He gets dropped out of his vehicle, and Landoon says, hey, I'll come by.
You confirm back into the circle. They were struggling to get off of Everest. Look at the nades coming in. Oh my god! This looks pretty rough for Bahumat Gaming. Nice nades from Haisaki and...
여우 선수가 있습니다. 왼쪽 오른쪽 위에서 체력이 좀 많이 빠졌어요.
6발이라도 눕힐 수 있어요 이건.
Catch you off guard, so Yaxley might be in a bit of trouble, but Oath is driving themselves right into Victor. He's hiding behind this rock. Can he find that Knock doesn't? We're just going to go ahead and crash onto this rock, but Wolf is immediately taken down. Balefrost looks for it, but he falls himself. Oh.
主动直接爬到了，这一波灵性拉房檐，其实说实话，主要是 4M 听到了脚步声，这一波提前枪，对方是赶紧侧身绕了回去。没想到是怎么楼上还有人啊！进来了，高点一头，这一波，
And now just Squeaky Dance. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Now a 1v3. That a step too far, I feel. Ooh, hello, Squeaky, let's go. Let's go on the 1v2. Show me what you got. Surely he doesn't get another chance. You can deny all the... Squeaky, you're an animal. Do it, Squeaky, please. Just do it.
If he does this.
Oh my god, the Micah. The nade comes out, the flush comes in. Micah's got an AK to hand, he's just on the right side. He might have the off angle. Squeaky doesn't... Oh my god!
one more map. 2 more games, and then we crown a champion here at PCS1 Asia. Your top 5 damage dealers from match number 3. Longsker continues to put up very, very strong numbers. ZGG, the 1 AM member, doing it this time around for them. 626 for him. Maps, Silver, Sungjiang. So a lot of teams getting in the damage business this time around.
4 AM, LYG, Rushby Gaming, and so is Entus is going to be parting up to the damage leaderboard. But for Sungjiang, I don't know where he pulled those damages out, but apparently he did it.
Well, they had that middle compound for quite some time and just spraying shots around. You know, if you hold a compound in the center of the circle for a long time, you're just kind of bound to put up some decent damage as teams try to rotate in and around you. And what ended up becoming the problem is always the problem in that particular compound. I've seen a lot of circles end up there. It's that southern edge, that western to south edge. Teams can make this really easy rotation because of that dip that's there and get underneath the team that's holding that warehouse or the shacks that are next to it. So Tianba is going to be the benefactor of that one. Rushby Gaming tried, but they were a little too early to the party. This team is, let's just be honest, they're probably out of it for first place contention, but a couple of big games could put them in the top 5, maybe even top 3. We'll see, but it's going to take a lot from Gen G. It has not been good from them. Griffin's still very much in this. Entus very much in this. They had a good game today. They almost got a win there, but they're going to have to put up a little bit more points on Erangel. Now, Erangel, to be fair, pretty good for them as they get Pachinki.
I want to make a call. So,
okay.
Because Genji's out from the winning picture and Tianba is now back in the picture with 2 wins under their belt, I have a pretty good feeling that Genji might just fully send it to South Georgia, just hot dropping it. They should too.
They should.
They should wreck it.
Look, I don't care. There's a couple things at play there. A, Gen G should be challenging for that position in the first place. 2, they should have the confidence to go in there. If they really think they're the best team in the world, they should go in there and do it. B, you're right. You don't want I don't care who you are. You don't want Tianba to win back-to-back tournaments. I mean, if you're a competitive player, that's your competitive mindset. You don't want a team to win back-to-back majors like that. And also, it's kind of some regional pride there. The big story of this tournament is Korea versus China. And right now, China's, really threatening to win 2 majors in a row and usurp Korea as the best region potentially in the world.
So if Genji goes for that heroic sacrifice, then they can hold down onto Tianba. And for infantry, they're going to be their usual draw spot is right by the bridge, the 12 houses, and sometimes they appear as well. And Element Mystic could just go like, hey, we can not drop that too, or anything could happen in this game. But we are going to be readying up for our match number 4 first game for Erangel today, as we only have 2 matches to go tonight.
There is the trophy case from PGI 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Okay, I am right. I'm pretty sure it was that tournament. And
2018.
Yes, it is that one. I was right. My memory did serve me correctly. My memory is not the best, so sometimes I'm not sure, but that one is that. And, thinking back to that, Genji did win the TPP portion of that particular event, but it was a Chinese team, OMG, that won the FPP. So both of those regions being represented here today once again. But now we are strictly FPP in PUBG Esports, of course, as that is the more competitive mode. There are your Erangel points. So you look at this, Quadro has 4 points over infantry so far. That's not going to be enough to get it done. They got to get 10 points to catch up to infantry this go around. So it's going to take some good Erangel games from the Quadro boys to do it. Entus right there. And again, they do have Pachinki. It seems to be to themselves, but it looks like Genji's out early bench, so I think you and I are a little disappointed by this. I would have much preferred to see them challenge Tianba here.
I mean, I was looking forward to that, but looks like Genji is going to go back to Yasnaya. Tianba finding themselves South George as their home. VSG going back to North George as this playing path is quite even. We're not going to be seeing any swaps. Element Mystic is going to be hot dropping Severny. So it's going to be LYG hot dropping Severny with Element Mystic. Who gets the gun first? Looks like it's Kinch and Kira V to get into the houses first. That's on UMP. And Maps has to run to church to find himself a little bit of cover and guns to farm up. But Element Mystic with those guns, that's Kira V running out hard. He's not scared to push into it.
He shouldn't be. I mean, this is Element Mystic's home. I've never seen anybody challenge them here. LYG going for it. Player unknown, I'm sorry, buddy. You weren't right on this one. No military island circle. We're heading west this go-around. But maybe we'll get lucky, and it'll hard shift up towards something on the coast. Maybe that's what we can hope for here, Bench, as we got that one crazy nutty game that ended up to the west of South George. And that was, if you guys haven't checked that out, from, I think it was the Charity Showdown, right?
Right.
And that was just where that circle finished was one of my favorite circles of all time. Another one I'll never forget, Bench, as no one is challenging Tianba, no one is challenging Infantry. I find that to be a little interesting. I guess Infantry I'm not as surprised by because they do drop kind of in the Fairy Pier area. It's a little more challenging to kind of contest somebody there. I'm pretty surprised by LYG doing this, though. No one went Zarky either.
But Carrot was taken down to a super low HP. Could have been the opening knock here, and LYG would have been sitting in an odd man situation. Maknae is going to be farming up, and Carrot just started farming as he had to band-aid himself off back to 75 HP. Maknae.
Is this a grudge from game number 2 for LYG?
It's like, why'd you guys do this?
Yeah, when EM sent it at him. And I mean, it barely did EM win. They almost completely threw that fight. Somehow Maknae came through alive, but is that what this is? I'm really surprised, but it is what it is. And there are your expected point finishes for the teams given to us by PUBG Analytics. They are kind enough to provide us that data for like potential points, expected points, potential finishes, like percentages of where teams are expected to finish. So thank you very much for all that information that you give us. Huge shout out to that guy. He actually sent me some information on the background here today. I didn't really get a chance to use it, but I really appreciate his efforts. Very nice guy and does a lot of excellent work for PUBG Esports.
Those statistics are very kind and very accurate, but anything and everything could happen in this game as we have 2 more matches to go. Teams could start popping off, and there's the slow-mo run over, guys. You are toasted to the ground, face down, sit down, go to bed. But we can't go to bed as we have to cast 2 more games. I'm pretty tired, and you're pretty tired too. But
I'll survive.
We had enough coffee and hot 6s to survive that, so we're fine with that for now. In the meantime, looking back over towards Infantry, they were farming the southern edge of the coastline. Usually the 12 houses, some Fairy Pier, and it looks like Longsker decided to go a little bit far away and farm the 4 houses. And All-Stars, for themselves, they're going to have Kamishiki and Stalber. Stalber, always a great place to farm, great place as in the esports mode, the vehicles do gen quite often, so it's easy to get go as well.
Yeah, it's not bad to go over here. It's just fine. I mean, you see FaZe Clan, for example, come over here all the time. So if you're going to talk about a spot that, you know, an edge spot that is very... Any of the edge spots are playable, of course. We've seen plenty of teams do it, but that one, for sure, still playable. There's still the standoff. Maknae does have that micro Uzi waiting to see what was going on. See, this is what's weird. I mean, I understand because of the plane path, LYG isn't super interested in going to the military base, but I am very, very surprised that they're going to, dust up with Element Mystic and Severny when no one has ever even tried to fight them. I guess you're trying to catch them off guard, use the element of surprise here. The other part is they're stuck on the northern side of Severny, so they have a much harder time getting out of Severny, potentially. Crate right out in the middle of the fields.
Mach 14.
Yeah, right into the hands of infantry, and that's not something anybody in this lobby wants to see. Ooh, it's a Groza.
Oh, never mind. I was like, that should have been an MK14, but a Groza too.
Nuts. Yeah, just give the win to them, Bench. Just give
especially in the hands of infantry, right? Like, as the name itself suggests, they will crash you no matter what, like who you are. If they know they can crash you, they will crash you. And close up, Groza is a meat grinder. I've mentioned that before. You'll become a hamburger within just a matter of like a couple seconds.
And they're a team that likes to fight close up. So I didn't get to see if they took it or not. I looked off the screen for a second there to take a peek at some of the other stuff. There are some of your kill proportion percentages. Your kill leaders are in the red there for each team. 9 for infantry. Renba under doing 30% of the work for their respective teams. Too Hard doing 41% of the work for Griffin. Guy has been just crazy good. Look at how balanced Quadro is, though. 30%, 25%, 25%, 20%. They're really, really playing just solid, excellent PUBG right now. And they're first. I think they might not be first in kills anymore. I didn't catch the leaderboard. when we went to break, I really had to hurry, and I'm still on crutches because of my knee surgery, so I had to hurry and get to the bathroom.
Oh, God!
Tiantan is going to go down to Lu. Big loss here for Tianba early, trying to take this central compound, or not a compound, it's not really a compound, this hill fort, I guess, that is up. I love this. First of all, I love this hill position that's in the center of these fields, the South George fields. Love this position. It is a really, really powerful position if you can hold it. If the circle ends up there. Now, this circle is still circle 1, so who knows? But if it ends up here, this is such a great position to play from. A lot of cover. You can see like all of the fields around you. There's a few spots people can kind of work to get underneath you, but for the most part, you're gonna have a really good situation going forward if the circle ends up there.
Right. That spot especially, though, if you can hold it, it's great, but it's hard to conserve onto your vehicles because there's only so many angles you can cover your vehicle, and if somebody peeks out from the western side, your tires are a goner. That vehicle is, in fact, not in the problem as it flips itself back on the ground. But for that hill fort, another thing is if anybody crashes with cars, there's not much you can do about it, especially if there are bullets being fired upon. You can't really stick your head out to stop the cars from coming into you. You just got to hope that other teams will shoot the vehicle out that are crashing into your hill fort. And in the meantime, Mao Ye baited that kill for Tian Tian, I feel like, especially Tian Tian not being accurate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is just... It is just 4AM is very, very thankful to GEX for giving them that point right there. No doubt about it. Quadro coming in along the southern coast, but Element 36 here potentially doing something. We'll see. Pure Boy been very, very good today. Here comes his initial
Pure
shot.
Boy?
Oh my God, he gets a headshot in there as well. Doesn't get the knock. Yacha has to swerve to try to avoid any more damage, or he is going to be knocked out of his vehicle, able to just barely get over to the coast in time. He's going to heal up. Now, what is Quadro's move going to be here going? Are they going to try to duel Element 36, or are they, well, maybe Element 36 is going to make the decision for them and just leapfrog them a bit, get into the circle, and set up another trap for Quadro?
I feel like they're going to be sitting at the edge of the circle to see what happens if Quadro decides to run in their crosshair or not. Either way, it's not a risky move for them because they can just sit and watch what happens. Sophia, though, having a pretty good angle, not going to shoot as he is kind of a little bit far off. The circle is going to be moving in the next 10 seconds. And there's a lot of hiccup in the northern part of the map. You can see Element Mystic and Curzon going at it. DA taking a knock, but Lash and Mukne taking a knock of one of each. So Curzon down 2 members, Element Mystic down 1. Now EM fully sending in for the push. Those UMPs are strong close up. That's going to be Mukne with a headshot onto Martian Chun. PH101 trying to do his best. Barrel finds the knock, but Kinch comes from the side and finishes off Team Curzon.
First team out on Erangel on day number 4 is Curzon. And again, it has not been their tournament compared to what we saw from them at the Charity Showdown. They really kind of shocked the world. They're a team that nobody had on their radar for being a potential winner of the event, and they came through and almost did it. All right, Satao is now in the blue, and he's prone. He's going to be a little late coming into this one. Japanese teams like to play edge. Entis is going to full-on send it with GEX already here. This is really difficult for the Entis boys. All right, Sungjung coming through. Woo! Oh my goodness, right on the roof are Under and Kale. Can they do something? Dropping down, grenade from Chaiwei, doing a whole bunch of damage to Sungjung. Under is down. Oh no, is this going to be disaster for Entis? Under, Sungjung down, Under finish, Indigo down. It's just Kale left here. He gets the spray, he's gonna get the finish. That's only 1 point for Entis. They sent it in, they weren't quite ready. Yanli's gonna do it, Entis is out. Only 1 point for them. Their hopes of winning this event could have just been completely destroyed.
Yan Li he was like, he didn't even know that Kale was behind him, and he just 180'd and then landed the headshot just right on top of the head. And then I'm just like, dude, that thing is like, it's hard to see that happen, and apparently it happened. But now for GEX, things are getting worse as 4AM wants to send it in towards the face of GEX. They're like curious about why is the car on top of the roof. But it looks like 4AM is going to be stopping by for now. They don't want to fully send it down the hill. Tiamba actually wants to stop by on the other side of the compound. So GEX is going to be sitting sandwiched in that little blue house looking over towards infantry. CGX, why did he get off the vehicle? He's in so much trouble. Longsker is not going to let that pass. Iguto down super low HP, and Longsker can easily find a better angle to find the knock.
So far, no more damage yet. Oh, take that back. There's a little bit of damage from the side. I don't think that was Nine's gun, but It is going to be Crest Gaming Xanadu picking up their teammate and driving desperately, frantically away from all of this. They're able to get enough of the ridge there to shield themselves a bit. And for now, Crest Gaming Xanadu is going to regroup and try to gather themselves to fight again. 4AM, GEX, I don't know what Entis is doing there. I don't know why there's a full send happening in that situation. I frankly don't agree with it. There's other spots to take in this circle. It's only circle number 2. I know you want points, and if you really feel like you have a good fight to take there, you can. Well, let's table that thought for now. Forever down. Forever might be finished. Lou's trying to hold it off. Oh, Lou! Good hold so far. Not good enough for Civvy, though. Civvy's going to get him. Civvy sees ZGG. ZGG prones. ZGG might have a grenade coming his... Whoa, nope. He's going to throw that one out the window. Forever... Point blank with the M24 takes Forever down. ZGG's grenade takes Lou down. I don't know what was going on there. All kinds of chaos happening here for 4AM.
But in the meantime, Woyless did decide to wrap around and find a battle angle. He might just be able to find the headshot here. There you go. Quite fast, but that gun is just too trashy that you can't do those. And now, with that M4, he's trying to fight off whoever from Rush B Gaming. That's G9 pushing up. Good push. And that's Woyless knocked out and dusted, leaving ZGG all alone for 4AM. Once again, just like last match, this guy is a solo player. And now he can really go far as that vehicle is going to be beat up pretty bad. 18 bullets in the barrel, he's going to reload, but he has enough utilities to cover himself if he does want to dip out from the situation.
He's hoping that somebody from Rush B Gaming actually would kind of over-peak. Silver, he's going to hear these steps. ZGG comes up firing, gets Silver quickly, but it is going to be Civvy with the quick reactions to save his teammate's life. 4AM once again out early. This tournament, one to forget. If you're a 4AM fan, 13th place right now for them going into the final match. Quadro still alive on the heels of Infantry. If they could get a pick here onto Bullying, that would really be a good start for Quadro in this round.
Bullying is just going to be driving away casually, but little does he know, if he turns to the left, he might be running into the faces of Griffin and Tiamba. So let's see what he decides to move upon. Griffin trying to beat down Rush B Gaming from afar. That's like miles away, but Too Hard can land those bullets, and I think he, in fact, even did just a little bit of damage there. Genji is going to be parking right by VSG. Foxy is now where he is exiting his compound. He's actually going to be going up the roof. This is a great play, actually. He can cover himself, and he can easily shoot down any players running into him. Aqua 5 is going to be the bait. He's going to be driving far away. Loki is in a little bit of trouble, though. He has to pull that vehicle fast, or Element Mystic can easily punish you for that.
This is kind of a neat little chess match we have here between VSG and Genji. And Onyx knows that somebody was thinking about, or could be thinking about, getting on top of that roof, so he was covering that. Now, there are other members of VSG able to kind of cover where an Onyx could be. So there's a great setup from both of these teams trying to get into position. And Onyx now going to hop in his vehicle. You can see him on your mini-map in the bottom right-hand corner, opting to try to send it in potentially with the rest of his team. Now, Genji isn't 100% sure Foxy is here, but their spider senses are definitely tingling, as it is going to be Tianba and Rush B Gaming and GEX dusting it up over the graveyard of Entis. It is still Leo alive, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to survive here. Here is Infantry, your top team right now. They catch Luminous Stars sleeping. Boom, 1 down. Boom, 2 down. Luminous Stars out. 2 more points for Infantry.
Easy for Infantry, and that's GEX about to be down and dusted. Rush B Gaming being called out. G9, though, he's going to be returning some favor. No, he's actually being knocked up by Z9 Max. And now Tiamba trying to take the kill. The nade is going to miss. And what? That smoke! That tip of the smoke covered the angle for Leo of GX to run out, and Lorena actually eats his own nade because he was so surprised of what was happening. He spotted the player, and he was like, he forgot the fact that he even threw the nade. Suffers from the knock. Luckily, he was knocked out, so he's not going to flush. But God, what moment is that? But in the meantime, Quadro is going to be setting up a trap by the road at the edge of the circle. Oh God, the pullover of the buggy. That timing is so bad. Remba starts opening up. God, you got to be accurate though. 30, 40 damage. His third bullet coming through. That guy is down and dusted anytime soon. Sophia down. He's knocked. He can be gone anytime soon. The Alexis finishes him off.
All right, more work wanting to be done here by Quadro. Another knock going to be found. It is really, really dangerous now for Element 36. The Quadro boys hungry for points, hungry for this win. They just saw Infantry pick up a couple. They want some of their own. Tianba has found Aqua 5. Aqua 5 very hurt. It has been a rough day for Aqua 5 in vehicles or out of them. Most of the time, he's either been killed by one or killed in one. LYG, they are stuck out to the west of VSG's compound. Mental is basically down and out. It is going to be 2Heart from afar, seeing if he can pick off some members of LYG. Gets a little bit. Line it up. Take your time here, 2Heart. You have got that time to try to pick this off. One more shot should do it. Yes, indeed. A point in the bag for 2Heart and Griffin. Maps goes down. Now he's trying to steal it again, but no, it's going to be Hulk for VSG who's able to pick that one up.
So Griffin adds the point they really needed. Infantry trying to get up by Element 36. Pure Boy ditches that and Amanat as well. So that's going to be an easy rotation for Element 36. They're going to be parking by the shack, but Team Quadro doesn't want to let that pass. And that's Pure Boy taking a headshot. Luckily, that's a mini, not an SLR, so he is going to be fine. And yes, indeed, I think I saw Sophia, right?
He's done. He's down. He's out. Yeah, it's been a rough round here for Element 36. They had a great Miramar though, and you gotta love what you saw from this team. Very excited for their future going forward. Especially Sophia looks to be a real star, potentially in Japan. This is 2Heart once again. Over to him as he continues to watch. VSG, I don't know. This is so nuts. I mean, there's so many Griffin members shooting at this. Okay, they can get behind this house, survive. That UAS takes a butt ton of damage in the process. It is completely on fire, unusable at this point. Going forward for VSG, they're out of the circle. I don't know what they're going to do. It is not fun from that position. Meanwhile, Griffin continues to rake in the kills as they do a fantastic job holding the northwest part of the circle.
And with the help of Infantry, Element Mystic is going to be eliminated at 9th place. Great effort for them, but they are going to be not having any chances to have the first place. They were in the shop, but looks like they're out now.
Yeah, I don't think this is... Element Mystic just hasn't been able to get anything going on Miramar today, so they didn't really give themselves a chance to step up. 2Tap doing some dirty. Foxy on the ground. Hulk looking for anything. Nope, Pio is there. Pio is waiting. Loki's grenade gonna finish the job. VSG almost out of this one. Whoa, Pio takes a bunch of damage. Is able to finish Wicked, though, so VSG is out in 8th place. We'll see how this one plays out going forward. Infantry, Quadro, Griffin, all still in this. Tianba as well. We can't count them out. I would say top 5 teams still have a shot at this for sure, especially if Tianba gets another win. Then everybody is shaking in their boots going into that final game. I tell you what, but the horseshoe compound here for Infantry, stable as we look to the next circle to find out where the action moves.
Infantry, Quadro, Griffin, they're all in the picture. But a little bit better for Infantry. Minsung starts opening up too deep, rotating members of Gen G. Knock gets off, and starts firing back, but he's going to be caught off as well. Minsung just running back, getting his vehicle for the rotation. The nade actually lands just a little bit short as they are going to be arched a little far away from the meant position. Pio pushing up. 2Tap gets caught off guard. Loki finds a great headshot onto 2Tap, and that's 2Tap down and dusted. Griffin suffering from a 1 loss of their members.
2Tap just wasn't able to find anywhere to run to. Genji looked hungry as they pushed right up on that hill, and like you mentioned, the grenade not on point. So that allows Genji to maneuver there, pick 2Tap off. 2Heart might get caught in rotation himself if a member of Quadro can land some shots. Renba up there. 2Heart gonna drive around the corner. 2Heart's gotta be careful. Oh, Renba isn't gonna go for it. Renba didn't like it. Maybe there was something on his backside that had him worried. He's gotta watch for the rest of his team as well. Renba is the forward player, so he's actually got double duty. A, he's gotta watch Griffin maybe do some shooting. B, he's gotta watch that eastern flank and allow his teammates the safe options to rotate in.
But because Renba's holding on to the edge of the circle, Quadro shouldn't have any problem rotating in. But for Infantry, their compound is out of the picture. Lorena spots out Crest Gaming Xanadu. He has a decent angle, but because of the tree, the leaves cover the players. Lorena almost spotting out that player, actually, very close. But if anyone gets into that car, that's going to be a death bath for anyone to suffer from any headshots. Genji now ganging up behind Griffin. They're bloodthirsty. They want more. But for Rui TV, he gets off the vehicle just right away. This guy is fast with his actions right before he gets knocked out.
Yeah, anybody but Tianba Gaming right now. You have, like, the other teams on the top are like, do not feed them any more points, please. The circle's already been kind enough. Hold up, Crest Gaming Xanadu. Try something a little different for now. Right, Tianba looks so good. A 2-1 split for them here. They control so much of the central area of this circle. It is a bit tough. There's plenty of foliage around, so there's some ways to maneuver and get in there. Infantry's compound on the very edge, so they're going to have to push forward to their west just a bit. Quadro able to come up through the south, but again, E36 wrapped up into that shack quite some time ago. It is still in the circle, so it's going to prove a little bit, make things a little bit challenging for Quadro to go through. But all it really takes is a couple good mollies or frags inside of that shack, and you're able to kind of dust off, come away with a few points. Just don't try to push in through the front of it if you don't have to. That's where things get scary.
But we are 15 seconds away from seeing the next circle, and wherever it shifts, because most of the circle is going to be a field circle, you really need to have a compound to have the winning condition, I feel like, unless you are like 2 members only and you get pushed easily. But as you can see, it's going to be 4-player strong teams are still existing in this lobby. So for Tiamba, they are going to have those compounds for themselves. For Griffin as well, they're going to have the sushi houses for themselves. Genji right behind their back, but they can do something about it. Remba now opening up towards Longskirt, taking a bunch of damage, but not connecting to a knock. Longskirt can back off easily, heal it off. Element 36 right in front of them as well by the shack, but they're out of the picture as well too.
This is a horrendous circle for Quadro and Infantry. Neither team is thrilled about this one at all. Zhao Yang did take that Groza. Not too surprising with Infantry. Like we've mentioned, they love to fight up close, and that Groza is a powerhouse up close. What is Infantry going to do? They do have something to work with to the south of Tianba. They can get in, I think, close to Z9 there. We'll see. But Renba and members of Quadro do have Overwatch on top of this position. So Infantry immediately going back to their vehicles, rethinking this idea. As Quadro has not moved yet, so this position is not safe.
Almost catching Infantry off guard. That was 9, I believe, in the vehicle, taking a bunch of damage. Yes, he's down to like 3 or 4. Longskirt, though, that buggy can't provide enough cover. He's down super low. Bunch of smoke out here for Crest Gaming. They want to push into Tiamba. Lin Shun, though, their nade. His nades are going to be landing quite close, but Iguto is going to find a great angle to punish him for 35 HP. And now Lorena being the front line here to hold off the push from Crest Gaming. What can he do? He has a barrel in his hand. He's down to 75. He probably has some meds in there as well.
Everybody in the rest of the world rooting against Tianba Gaming, except Tianba Gaming and Tianba Gaming fans right now. Crest Gaming able to get inside of this facility. Lorena down and out. Lin Shun looking for somewhere to throw a Molotov. The good thing is that house is already on fire anyway, so that Molotov not going to really do much to the Xanadu boys as they continue to wrap around to the west. Z9 out. Not quite, but he's pretty much out. Yes, indeed, he is to Crest Gaming Xanadu. This is going to open the door for a big rotation from Quadro. Keep this one in your memory banks, folks. That could be the play of the tournament. They move completely from the southwest end to the northeast end. Trying to hold this down. No good for Lin Shun. Rio and Crest Gaming Xanadu knock Tianba out in 7th place.
Quadro might just even be crashing onto this. In the meantime, Infantry is pushing into the edge of the compound as well, where Tiamba left it to fight off Crest Gaming. And now Quadro picking up that crate as well, or if it was already taken by another team, whatever. But Quadro is looking to take more kill points. Rio TV's already down, and he is not going to be rezzed anytime soon. Yacha holding an angle.
This is so interesting. If Quadro can win this battle with Crest Gaming Xanadu, that's going to be a huge moment. Infantry is finishing off the surviving members of Element 36. Pure Boy down. Amanat looking very, very distraught himself, sitting all alone in that shack. Circle centers up on top of the field. So everybody basically going to have to leave this field, or excuse me, leave their positions, except Quadro. They can kind of nestle up along the edge of the field potentially. There goes Amanat. Element 36, a 6th place. But continuing to rack up placement points, having a good day, Element 36 can't take anything away from them here. D-Lax trying to hold an angle. Infantry now is just going to push right in this. Biggest fight of the tournament potentially about to happen. If Longskirt and Infantry can clean up this fight between these two teams, they may well take the tournament. Longskirt up. D-Lax going to get a Guto. Should be able to get the finish there as well. They don't see that member of Crest Gaming Xanadu holding that funky angle in that side room, as we are still waiting to see how far in Infantry goes.
Longskirt finds a great angle onto D-Lax, downs a bunch of damage, but Infantry's not interested in pushing into the compound. Rather, they want to control the uphill and take all the players coming up the hill. Yowok goes for the very push, but the nade from Maurice is going to finish off himself, and so is Yowok. Yacha from the outside, what more he could do? He's going to be tossing out those smokes, but Infantry's already waiting at the edges of this circle. Rio finds a kill onto D-Lax, so Quadro down 2 members, and that's going to be leaving Renba and Yacha. Renba going for the side peek, finds a great peek. Rio goes down, but the Molly Molly, though. I don't think that's going to be hitting. Oh, that actually burns Remba, so he's stuck. Yacha's stuck as well. The blue is zoning right behind him, but he finds an angle to exit that. The smoke's covering from Infantry. Remba finishes off Rio, and that's Crest Gaming Xanadu. But Bo Liang from Infantry, he's going to be bullying out Genji. Rather, he should be looking over towards Quadro. There we go. Zhao Yang with the Groza, the powerhouse. That's going to be dusting. Remba finishing off the map, and that's going to be Yacha as the last member for Quadro.
Longsker hasn't seen Yacha yet, but the rest of the Infantry pushing along the edge. There they go. Quadro out in fourth, and it's going to be Infantry racking up tons and tons of kills. 13 points ahead of Quadro as we speak, but Griffin's still in this. Griffin's still potential. If they can finish off the rest of the teams in this particular situation, if they can take Infantry out, they have a chance. But it's Infantry doing work. They take Aqua 5. Infantry looking to assert their dominance. They're looking to end this right now. Bo Liang now putting shots down. A headshot on the Minsung. Somehow, some way through that smoke. Wow, that is incredible stuff there from Infantry. I don't know how the heck he can see Minsung through all of that. That is really impressive. Infantry looking to finish this one off.
And Bo Liang just trying to finish the kill off. Loki now being spotted out by Longsker. Another kill point might be in the backpack of Longsker. And Longsker not accurate as Loki's going to play by the smoke. Minsung is finally down and done. But there's too hard enough Asura from Griffin to make things possibly happen, as the chances are quite slight there. And now we're looking at some wraparounds. Infantry nicely covering up the full circle.
All right, the movement great, the timing great from Infantry in this game. Oh, impeccable. I mean, you can't fault them for anything they have done in their movements. Here comes the grenade from Longsker. I think it's going to come up just... Oh, it does clip just a bit of Loki. I thought it might come up short. He does. He's able to see Loki just a little bit in that grass. You can see just enough of Loki's backside. He is going to finish Loki off. Looking towards the surviving two members of Griffin. Griffin stuck between a Dacia and a Prayer. There is not much left for them to work with. It is an envelopment coming from Infantry.
Nades and utilities could be possibly finishing Griffin off here. And anyways, they're still at the edge, and the next circle is not going to be familiar and friendly to Griffin. So they're going to fix that Molly connecting right onto Asura. He's going to pull that medkit off just in time before he gets knocked up by Bo Liang. He has another nade popped up. That's going to be landing right next to him. Longster coming from the side, finding a great angle onto Asura, leaving 2 all alone. 1 versus 4 and a Dream, but the Dream is crashed, and so is Infantry taking the win.
I mean, Infantry asserting their dominance, putting their foots on the throats of the rest of these teams. A huge, huge win. It's going to be near impossible for anybody to come through after that. It's going to take a monster round for somebody to take them down in this final game. Infantry, huge win, looking to go back-to-back for China in the Asia region majors for PUBG Esports.
I think they even put up that 14 kills or more, actually, for making up that win. So that's going to be like 22, 23, 24-point win, which really leapfrogs them up top of anyone else to secure themselves the winning spot. Here's a replay from Kira V. That's Anonix being caught off.
I mean, they were just all over the place in this round, and this shack, so popular, so many teams fighting over it, just an absolute meat grinder there. Wicked doing a good job holding off LYG. VSG able to narrowly take this one, but in the end, Griffin and other teams were watching. Too much for them to work with, and there you can see PO, Genji take them down. Good setup here, good rotations from Genji, good rotations from Griffin, setting up on the western half, and then this fight here for Quadro, good, but Infantry comes over and just takes full advantage of the damage that was done.
Quadro almost could have made that happen, but Infantry was just too damn good on the timing of the push, and Quadro had to go. And now Infantry really sitting up top. Who can challenge them to steal the win away? 24-point win there, 14 kills. Griffin coming in second with 11, but not close enough. Quadro with 9, but not close enough on the right-hand side. All-Stars, LYG, Team Crescent, doesn't matter at this point. It's now up to Infantry, Quadro, and Griffin.
Basically, it's come down to those three. I don't think anyone else really has a shot. Somebody needs to stop Infantry early on in this one. Somebody has to step up and come through. 25 points is what it's going to take for Quadro. It's going to take a miracle game. I think Quadro has to go for the hot drop. I don't think they have any other choice. I think they have to put the pressure on and at least go for it. Somebody has to step up and try to take Infantry down. One more game here at PCS1 Asia, guys. Stay tuned. Plenty of action still remaining.
take that it holds the level 3 gear that he's going to control as well. But what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Okay, that's a bit weird, but whatever. Jumps into the back of the...
Just yet, so 3-3 creeping by, and oh my god, we're getting a demolition derby coming in here. Honey Badger finding himself in a little bit of trouble, so trying to see if he can maybe get out of this position, but reinforcements rolling through as it is just a drive-by right on top of Pintalol. He gets dropped out of his vehicle, and Landoon says, hey, I'll come by.
You confirm back into the circle. They were struggling to get off of Everest. Look at the nades coming in. Oh my god! This looks pretty rough for Bahamut Gaming. Nice nades from Haisaki and...
여우 선수가 있습니다. 왼쪽 오른쪽 위에서 체력이 좀 많이 빠졌어요. 6발이라도 눕힐 수 있어요 이거.
Catch you off guard. So Yaxley might be in a bit of trouble, but Oath is driving themselves right into Victor. He's hiding behind this rock. Can he find that Knock doesn't? We're just going to go ahead and crash onto this rock, but Wolf is immediately taken down. Balefrost looks for it, but he falls himself. Oh.
主动离线，主要是这一波灵性拉房檐。其实说实话，主要是 4M 听到了脚步声，这一波提前枪，对方是赶紧侧身绕了回去。没想到怎么楼上还有人啊！进来了，高点一头，这一波。
And now just Squeaky Dance. Gonna have to do some heavy lifting. Now a 1v3. A step too far, I feel. Ooh, hello, Squeaky, let's go. Let's go on the 1v2. Show me what you got. Surely he doesn't get another chance. You can deny all the... Squeaky, you're an animal. Do it, Squeaky, please. Just do it.
If he does this.
Oh my god, Micah, the nade comes out, the flush comes in. Micah's got an AK to hand, he's just on the right side. He might have the off angle. Squeaky doesn't... Oh my god!
Guys, we are here for the final game of PCS 1 Asia. I'm Paper Thin. Joining me for this entire tournament is Ben Bench. 25 points separates Infantry and Quadro, and I said it at the end of that final game. Quadro has to drop Infantry. Somebody has to stop them right now if anybody has any chance of toppling them in this final game.
Any point that Infantry makes will leapfrog them even further from 25 points that Quadro has to make. Quadro has to win and take 15 more kills. I think the kill leaderboard has in favor of Quadro right now, I believe.
It's close.
I think Infantry might be leading now with 13 kills last game. 14 kills, actually. So Quadro has to put up 26 points to win, not 25. They cannot tie.
Well, it depends. If you can knock Infantry out right away, then the kills might leapfrog you enough anyway, just coming through with it. I don't know. I'll have to take another look at it when we get a chance. But you got to do something. I'm sorry. You cannot play safe here. You can't. You cannot. They're too far ahead. Somebody has to get in there and mess with them. That's just all there is to it. And it has to be Quadro. They're in second place. They have the best shot. Outside of a 19, the biggest game we've seen has been Entus's 19-kill win. So you got to do something like that. That's your only hope. Maybe Griffin can do it too. Griffin drops Primorsk, so they drop close. Griffin has the option to do it as well, but somebody has to do it. Otherwise, Infantry wins. That's just all there is to it.
Are you going to be satisfied with the second and third spot, or are you willing to risk everything to take everything is the real deal here?
I take a play from Shoot to Kill's book. That's all I got to say. They got it done. They got it. They did it. They got it done. Now, it is a little bit of a different situation for Shoot to Kill because in that particular spot, it was basically them in 1 and 2. So they have a lot more freedom to go for that hot drop because they don't risk losing second. Quadro does risk losing second. They do risk losing a lot of money. to be fair. But I guess I like to see crazy competitive stuff. I like to see that. And I'll take it back. I cannot blame Quadro. I will not be mad at Quadro or Griffin if they don't hot drop infantry. What I could see happening is Griffin going for a rotation pick onto infantry if the plane path allows it. If they're able to go to Primorsk, they might do a quick rotation, get ahead of infantry, and try to knock them out. Because there's 20,000, I'm pretty sure it's $20,000 between first place and second place. And then after that, it goes down. And if you're Quadro, you go down to third, fourth, maybe because you do something crazy. I get it. It's tough. You want that prize money.
I mean, you have to risk. You have to risk to take it. Or are you going to be satisfied? The second spot is what I'm basically reiterating what I said just before. But for Griffin, yes, you have mentioned that they can easily set up a rotation path towards infantry. For Quadro, though, their drop spot is not anywhere near infantry. So for them as well, like hot drop is an option. The second option they have is just farming around infantry where if it's empty. But this is our top 5 damage leaderboard. Longsker, Zhao Yang, Boliang popping off, especially for Zhao Yang. That Groza really doing work for him. But Longsker, though, this guy doesn't want to let the #1 spot gone from him.
No, I mean, I think that's back-to-back games where he's the damage leader. I know he's done it at least once today where Longsker was your damage leader. Renba up there once again. He's been having a fantastic day for Quadro. Quadro is throwing everything they have at infantry, but infantry is just too strong right now. They're playing incredible. What else can you say? 25 points ahead of Quadro going into this. Again, what I would love to see from a competitive standpoint is somebody go for it on infantry. If you lose and you give them the points, then so be it. But at least somebody is trying. There are your overall damage leaders, and Longsker has made a huge push to catch up to Tuart. Tuart was so far ahead of him, over 1,200 damage ahead of Longsker coming into today. And Tuart, Griffin haven't really done a whole lot, and Longsker and 9 from infantry have done a ton.
For the kill leaderboard, Tuart sitting at #1 spot 36, 9 coming in second 35, Longsker with 34. So just 1 kill difference between these players. Remba and Pio, though, they are still up there, 31 and 28. But now it really comes down to infantry and Quadro.
I mean, Griffin has an super outside chance, but it's gonna take something insane. They can do it. Griffin is capable, but I just don't know. Again, like you mentioned, you made a great point. If infantry gets any points, then it's exponentially harder for these teams. You can see Entis knows that it's going to be tough. They know they've just got to do what they can to get as many points as they can in this last round. Try to get whatever placements they can. As first place, kind of out of reach. Sungjang, tired. It's been a long, grueling tournament for these guys. Well played all around to them, though. We got to give them a lot of credit. They continue to be a very consistent team, still looking for them to step up and really assert themselves as a potential threat for first place consistently. They haven't yet done it on an international level.
I mean, for Entis, it was a hard ride. Their Asia Charity Showdown, they were docked off and they had to go through the Korean qualifiers. I think it was very close for them to come into this one as well. And in the international tournament, great effort. They really made themselves back up, but in the end, it didn't work out.
Absolutely. The horned rim glasses of Asura, the leader, the in-game leader for Griffin. He is focused. Let's see if he can get some magic going for the Griffin guys. It has been a wonderful tournament, a wonderful day 3 for them. There is an outside ghost of a chance. There's still a chance. These guys have a slightly better chance. They need to do something crazy. Some smiles on the faces of Quadro, though. They look confident. I tell you what. Does that mean that they might go for it? If they go for the hot drop, I don't care what happens. I might end up being the happiest person like on the planet for like the rest of that game.
I mean, if Quadro is confident enough,
they should be.
They should be really hot dropping on towards the bridge, where infantry always chooses to go to.
I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. If they can get the good drops, if they can get the right plane path, then 100%. The final game of PCS 1 Asia. That is your 2019 PUBG Global Championship trophy. That went into the hands of Genji. Out of the picture for the win in this one. Still the potential to maybe get a top 5 if they can get a monster game here. But all eyes on infantry right now. All eyes on Quadro and Griffin. Do they have any hope? Do they have any chance of coming through? Or is infantry just going to come through, maybe put up another win, and solidify their first international major championship? We will see. As the plane gets ready to go, we're going to take it under the bridge. Come up in the air. Where is our path? Big important one coming up. Ooh, we can see it in the air. That's a nice little shot. Look at that. The observers are giving us the plane from underneath. There you go. Oh, this one's good. This one's right down the
even
middle.
path. As
Nice.
even this path is. Let's see where Quadro decides to go towards. We know for sure that infantry is going to be dropping right by the bridge, those 12 houses, 6 and 6, and those compounds right by it. Quadro decides to dip out early. It looks like they're going to be going back to their old spots. So a little unfortunate, but it looks like they're going to let this one pass. But we still have Griffin in the picture.
Griffin, if they're still in the plane, they're going to go Zarky. Nobody's challenging infantry. So infantry, the door is open. Nobody has set up anything just yet on top of them. Nobody is going to challenge them just yet. Maybe somebody like Entis comes down and tries to set up a trap, but it looks like it's going to be a fair and square one coming through. And to be fair, that's typically how these things go in Asia. Most teams don't hot drop. I very, 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 very rarely see it. In Asia, in Korea, in China. Casted, I don't even know, over 1,000 games in these regions, and it is... I can think of maybe 1 or 2 games where it's really, really happened. When it matters. Like, when things are really on the line.
Let's say infantry gets knocked out early with like 2-3 kills. Then for Quadro, the winning condition is they need a win, first of all, for 10 points, and they need at least 23, 24 kills. On top of that, they have to wipe out 1/3 of the lobby by themselves.
They need 15 kills to tie. 15 kills and a win will tie if infantry doesn't get any points.
Right.
If they don't get any points. I mean, if they get 20 kills, then they should win. I mean, they would hope they win if they come through with that. You never know, though. All it takes is a couple points from infantry. That's all it's going to take. And again, exponentially harder each point they get. And the circle is not super favorable to infantry as we take our eyes away from the rest of the map and look at them as they are going to the ferry pier area to do their looting. They could just get bopped out of here. This circle's decent for setting up traps. Maybe if they try to go along the southern road, they try to go up to Potato Mountain. There's some options for teams if they opt to do it. I don't know if anybody's going to go for it. Again, even though LYG hot dropped EM last round, nothing really came of it. But in a moment, in a do or die situation, again, it just doesn't happen in Asia where teams hot drop. They kind of just want to play their game and try to win that way.
For Gen G, they're going to be returning back to Yasnaya. Even for the final game, they do not want to hot drop Tiamba once again. Looking over towards Griffin, they are usually on the western edge of the map. They are either in Zarki or Primorsk. And this time around, as the plane path was leading towards Zarki, they're going to be farming up there rather than going down towards Primorsk. And especially, the rotation is a lot easier from here than down there because there's less amount of teams that are saturating on the northern part of the circle.
Absolutely. There really isn't much up there, and that's usually EM why they can kind of just outlast people. But this tournament, it hasn't been very favorable to them because there's a lot of teams that like these northern rotations. Curzon, one of them. Gen G on Erangel now because they go Yasnaya. Griffin when they have Zarki. It has been much more challenging, and with VSG up in northern Georgia as well. There's a lot of congestion up in the north where that usually doesn't happen.
And the congestion really eats into your rotation. If you get picked off by any of these teams that were mentioned, they are really good shooters and they are able to take players down in a running vehicle. So your rotation becomes a little bit harder like that. But this time around, Griffin gets an easy one. If Olympic Mystic decides to go a little bit early into Stauber and go into Yaz, then Griffin should have an easy rotation as well. Looking over towards Quadro, they really need a big game. A big game. Not a small one, not a mediocre one, not a medium one, a big one.
Huge. They got to go for it. They got to do something. I know they're playing for second place because Griffin is right on their heels, 4 points behind them. I know they're worried about potentially falling down and losing some prize money, but man, oh man, what I really want in my heart of hearts is to see somebody go for it, is to see somebody challenge them. And this doesn't matter to me what team it is that is in first place in this situation. I would like to see any team go for it here, no matter their region, no matter anything, regardless of all that stuff. That's what I want to see from a competitive standpoint, from a excitement standpoint. That's what we're looking for.
Looking over towards Entis on the rotation towards outside of Pachinki, going up towards the Potato Mountain. The circle is there, but looks like they're going to be chilling out here a little longer until they see phase 2 and 3. Infantry missing out on the 9 there. Almost going to get in that motorcycle, but looks like they can pick the player up with no problem.
Yep, for now, relatively safe for infantry. I imagine they're going to play this one slow, depending. You never know with infantry. They're crazy. They're good. They can take what they want when they want. They've just been so strong in this tournament, and there's a reason they were one of the favorites coming into this. They're insanely good at fighting in fights. Their third-partying timing is excellent. They win fights they shouldn't is a big thing that I think you really got to give infantry a lot of credit for. That fight, I remember that uphill fight on Miramar. I can't remember exactly who it was against, but they literally took a fight that they never should have ever in a million years won. They had to win it, and they did. And it was a really impressive moment. Might be a turning point for them in this tournament where they really started to get confidence and set themselves apart here. That's why they're in first.
It looks like my pick for infantry is quite valid ever since the first day. Infantry was popping off ever since the first day. It's not like they came back from anything. They were sitting at #1 since the beginning of this tournament. So it's just going to be like that. Griffin now taking their long rotation, going up towards the north. Looks like they're going to be wrapping all the way around Stauber, as they know Element Mystic does farm Serenity and go down towards the little farm compound outside of Yasnaya.
All right, Griffin. Yeah, this is what you would expect in a circle like this. They're going to take a safe rotation, try to hold on. VSG cutting through. Foxy, okay. Rush Gaming trying to hold down the L-shaped compound. And Civi, he wants to reload that barrel and try to get some more damage. Silver set up on the side of a hill, going to get in his buggy. Head on out, as there isn't much else for him to shoot at. VSG able to successfully push through, and they're going to set up. The problem going to be Foxy's UAS basically done. He's not going to be able to really use that one anymore. It took too much damage in that rotation.
VSG might even decide to settle here. Not a bad compound. Still quite center of the circle. A little just far off towards the eastern edge. So that's going to be that. Tiamba now on the rotation. They're going to be running right into Hulk. Hulk almost getting ran over, but the spray down is going to take Z9 Max down to half HP. That Dacia really rolling around, dodging those bullets. Very lucky for him to get out from that situation.
Yeah, that was a nice position for Hulk. He just wasn't able to connect enough with the barrel. And moving on is Hulk and VSG looking to regroup on the eastern edge of Razak, as Z9 going to heal himself up. Not the end of the world for him. Just took a little bit of chest damage. Helmet still fully intact. So that's okay. Plenty of utility. Oh, a lot of utility. 3 mollies, 3 frags there for Z9. That's a nice little setup he's got going. We're keeping our eyes on Quadro. Again, our second place team. 25 points behind, but for now they have set up in a spot and they are going to wait. It looks like it's a 2-2 split across the road. One of the more famous 2-2 splits you'll see on the road leading out of Milta to the north towards Shelter. You can really cover between these two compounds pretty well, and they are just going to wait this one out for now.
Their position is worthwhile. They can trap anybody passing out from the Milta roads. Looks like it's going to be L-Stars down in the farms. So if L-Stars decides to run right across by the crosshairs, then it could be Quadro picking off easy 1 or 2 kill points and let the rest of the members go. But for now, it's Quadro just chilling out here. Doesn't want to risk anything. There's still 43 seconds of Phase 1, and that Phase 2 should be given to us in the next half a minute.
It's pretty interesting to kind of see the different regions in these final games. It is quiet in Asia. A lot of the other regions, it is not quiet. It is very crazy. But the Asia regions always taking things seriously, of course, but maybe being more passive than the other regions, I would say. But that's what I've come to know and expect from the Asia teams, particularly Korea and China, and potentially why they often do well at international lands. They are disciplined, strong teams. They're very... they're not going to overcommit to anything often, as the circle going to be very important. North, south, east, or west?
Quadro.
Southeast, right on top of Quadro. Quadro, how much are they going to move? When are they going to regroup? Big questions coming up for them, and infantry is looking to potentially drive right at their compound. We need to keep our eyes on that. Griffin's rotation from the north, okay, but infantry might try to get into Quadro's grill. We'll see.
Element 36, Crest Gaming, Xanadu, 4 a.m. They're all looking to run into each other right now, right by outside these parking lot houses. E36, Sophia stops and gets off, hearing those vehicles running by from Crest Gaming. But that's going to be Rio running right into the fire line from Quadro, so he's going to have to back off from that. Infantry, though, they're going to be stopping right on top of Element 36, so Element 36 could be sandwiched in the middle of the action. Pure Boy, he's going to be driving right in front of Quadro. This guy is done anytime soon, and yes, indeed, he's going to be knocked out and flushed. And Sophia as well. He's going to be knocked by his own vehicle, so that's going to be Element 36 being dusted.
Element 36 just absolutely falling apart right now. Too aggressive of a rotation right in between Quadro, and on the backside of them was Infantry. That's going to force them away. And
oh God.
No, right into 4 a.m. Element 36, hats off to you. A great tournament. Right now, sitting in 6th place. That probably won't be where you end up. Genji and Luminous Stars, Element Mystic, LYG still in this, so could end up below that. But really, hats off. You played a great tournament. All right, Wicked down, Lunchun. Bye-bye.
That's a member of Tiamba gone. Good setup by VSG. They were about to rotate out, and I think they heard the vehicles, so they just decided to stop by for a little longer. Apparently, that paid off as a kill point. In the meantime, both Japanese teams going out. Good effort for the region, as Element 36 did really well. Really well, I would say.
Really well. I mean, they really showed they can go toe-to-toe with some of these teams in this lobby. I have nothing but good things to say about them going forward, and I can't wait to see what they've got in store for us in the future. Them and Detonation Gaming White, the Sun Sisters, of course, are consistent as heck from Japan. So love to watch that region. Love to see what they've got going forward for us in PUBG Esports. This is Infantry setup along what we like to call the death road, because a lot of times teams just kind of send it up there, and there's a lot of fighting that tends to go around. But in Asia, it's not so much that. It's more of an NA thing. In Asia, nobody really tends to hang out around that road too much. So Infantry taking what I would say is a safe spot for them. It is Martian Chun looking, firing. 4 a.m., they're okay. They're throwing up some vehicles, going to get into the safety of the shelter for now. No one wants to be in there too long if they can help it, because eventually you just kind of get boxed in there, and then you don't have a lot of good options for getting out.
That's going to be Team Curzon looking down towards 4 a.m. But the spread of Infantry looks pretty nice, as they are going to be able to control the top of the mountain by the Wizard Huts. That can easily take shots towards the farm where All-Star is holding on to. Quadro splitting 2-2 on the very center of the circle. So they have a really, really good position.
No, this is, in terms of like fortune favoring Quadro, right now it does. Right now it does. They have to hold tight. They have to set up. And this next circle, a big deal for them. A lot of teams trying to get as center as they can, but it's really hard to get into the center of a circle like this due to a lot of the open space around the Milta Road. Circle heads southeast again. This is a chance for Quadro. What I imagine they're going to do is regroup with Yacha, and that's Renba there. So I imagine Delax and Yowick are going to head that way. It's going to open the door for Infantry a little bit to at least get into the circle potentially. Entus and them might cross paths. I don't know. Rush B Gaming heading that way as well. We are waiting and seeing. All eyes, again, on Infantry, your #1 team right now.
Infantry is outside of the circle. It looks like they're going to be rotating in on the bottom side, so they don't want to be running by Quadro. They're going to be actually driving right by farm, so their rotation path is quite decent unless they get caught off guard by LYG. Crazy 1-1-2 already setting up right by the fences. All-Stars, they know somebody's driving right by them. That's going to be Curzon. D already being knocked by Long DD. The molly onto the stairs, very accurate. He's going to stop the push.
Long DD with some good reflexes to get out of there. He was going to be in a world of trouble. He had just thrown that molly. Wasn't going to have a gun out to contest any members of Curzon. Curzon trying to come through the back door, but Carl is there to say no. Martian Chun does prime Long GG. And oh my goodness, Chai Wei coming through, sneaking a kill of his own in there onto Martin Chun. Tianba, VSG, some beach driving. There's no buggies here.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Careful there, Tian and boys. That is not where you want to get stuck. Foxy looking to see if he can get any side seat action going. But right now, VSG just going to be content to push ahead of Tianba over to the east side of Milta.
Tianba decides to stop on the southern edge of Milta. And VSG is going to be satisfied with going a little bit deeper inside to the big houses, the second floor. Now, Entus on the rotation is going to be taking a bullets from Quadro. That vehicle is going to be beat down quite bad, but looks like they can just get past it and get into the woods just with a couple seconds behind them.
Yeah, 4 a.m. still stuck in that shelter. That's a horrible place to be. You really can want to avoid it if you can. They didn't have much choice. They had to get somewhere safe. It is Genji up to the north. You can see Element Mystic up there as well, and Entus is going to be inside of the circle on the north and setting up along the side of a hill. Wayless has popped out. Wayless hears Rush B Gaming. Will way less make any members of Rush B Gaming pay the price for this rotation. Genji is doing some work in the EM. Way less good shooting. No, never mind. Not good shooting. Didn't get any damage into Rush B Gaming there. He had a pretty good angle, but just not able to connect much. And there is Entis. As I mentioned, they have set up along the hill on the the south side of the prison.
So Rush B Gaming ran into Genji. That's going to be Pao taking a knock onto Nonix forever, stealing the kill onto Silver. So that's going to be one member of Rush B Gaming gone, and Nonix gone as well. Genji's PO's Ney is going to knock out G9. So Rush B Gaming is down to 2 members. Genji is trying to do more damage, but Entis comes down onto this. Indigo already down super low. The blue is able to knock him up, but Under was doing tons of damage onto Rush B Gaming.
Yeah, and Genji did go out there, so it looks like their day is done right now. They are in 7th place. Will that be where they finish? Entis, Under, he has had a great tournament. Let's see if he can finish off strong here. And, oh, Genji does pick up a couple more points there, so 1 point shy of Luminous Stars Gaming. Not the finish you wanted to see from your reigning world champions. Indigo is going to finish himself off. And it's always funny to see that in the feed. VSG, they have come out of Milta to the north of the fields and are trying to hold down on the rock. Wicked taking some damage. Griffin over on the side, and that's actually Tianba from Milta putting some hurt into their backs.
Infantry in the meantime, they are sitting at 0 kills, but they are waiting for the moment. They are waiting to get into the placement point zone, and they don't want anything to happen for now. Hulk suffers from a knock from Z9 Max, and that's Wicked trying to go for the res. The vehicle explodes right in front of his face, but the damage won't connect either. Hulk should be resed, and rest of VSG is set up 2-on-2 split, but Tiamba looks like have a pretty good angle onto the other two on top of the mountain.
Yeah, this is a really nice movement here from Griffin, taking advantage of the fight between those two teams to sneak up along the eastern coast. They know nobody is over there. I mean, the coast of the circle, I should say. They know there's nobody over there, and they push up on ahead and get towards the lumber yard. And this is Infantry. Big moment right now. Quadro still on the outskirts of this, still holding down this compound. Infantry going to set up and get some information. Immediately getting shot at as they set up along the side of that hill. They do have a member down on the south of all of this, but right now, neither of these teams is interested in losing anyone. They have to keep all 4 up. They have to get whatever points they can. And again, Infantry, any points they get, you just push the nail further into the graves, or into the coffins, excuse me, of the rest of these teams.
Asura, he's waiting, and he spots out Element Mystic. Kirby knocked and dusted. Kinch peeks out from top, but Asura is too good. Minsung actually finds the headshot for him. And that's Element Mystic out at 12th place.
Okay, 2 points for Griffin. Again, still a chance for Griffin. It would take the craziest game you've seen since the FaZe game at PGC during the semifinals of PGC. We'll see. I'm still hoping. I mean, but Infantry, I tell you what, if they win it, well deserved. They have played incredible throughout this entire tournament, but you can't help but want to see an underdog come through. Quadro still gatekeeping them though. And Infantry is going to wait for the circle to come in before they make their move. As you can see, Boliang wrapping around the backside towards 9. 9 has the blue house. He's got the roof of it as well to keep cover. That is inside the circle, so Boliang can come up behind. The rest of Infantry can move in with the rest of their team if they so choose.
And they are still on the circle, so it should be fine for them. Too hard trying to find the angle onto these small windows by the shack. Won't be connecting either. But for Infantry, yeah, they are right by the circle, and depends on whichever side it shifts. They could either try to go for that cross-country rotation, or they could be sitting right at the edges, just going for the edge rotations. And now 5 seconds away from the next circle. Where is Infantry's fate going to be at?
We'll see. It is going to center, so the donut happens, and right on top of Luminous Stars Gaming, the hill north of Milta, so a lot of forest inside of this one, a lot of room to maneuver. Quadro already on the run. It is Infantry as well. Renba's heading towards the Wizard. He's going to get to that Wizarded setup. It is going to be Infantry coming across, taking a little bit of damage, but not too much. The Titans are going to square off here, potentially. Infantry gets out. They recognize that Renba's alone, but it's Luminous Stars coming in, taking a bunch of them down. A run over here. Boliang takes 9 out. 9 finished by D-Lax. Renba comes down the stairs, taking a bunch of damage. Renba gets knocked by Longsker. Where is the rest of Quadro? 2 members of Quadro down. It's going to be Longsker putting the points into them. This could be the tournament right here.
Yacha now with all of their teammates out there, and the Wizard Hell dead and dusted. Longsker really made that happen as All-Stars were putting bullets into both teams. This allows Infantry to live longer, and Quadro now in trouble as they're going to be still outside a circle. Are they going to crash into Infantry to make things happen, or are they going to be rotating elsewhere?
It's at this point, it's out of the picture for Quadro. With only 2 left, I can't see them putting up enough points. Maybe you could go to try to finish Infantry off, try to end their day at least, and maybe open the door for Griffin if you want to spite Infantry. But right now, it is looking desperate for Quadro. They needed to get more reinforcements to Renba. I feel like too wide of a split, a little bit too much to chew for the Quadro boys there. Under, over towards Griffin, shooting down with the SLR. Ooh, this is a good angle for him to take that. Could be a knock potentially, but Too Hard's there to put him down. Minsung is knocked, but not too long after is Under. Too Hard gonna cook a grenade and try to keep the hopes alive for Griffin. It's gonna take, again, just an unbelievable round like nothing you've ever seen. Quadro hoping, praying, dodging. It doesn't look good for them. The fire is raining down from LYG. He has to get off the bike. Yacha on his knees and out. It's bullying even to put salt in the wound there for Quadro. Infantry looking strong.
Yowok now the final member for Quadro. That motorcycle had tires popped, and for Yowok, Nastasia might just do the job for him to rotate into circle to live any longer, but doesn't matter at this point. He finds the little concrete to work with, but this mostly looks like the game for Infantry to win.
Yeah, now Quadro playing for any points they can get to try to stay in second ahead of Griffin. The fight continues near the edge of the circle between Griffin. Coming around the corner, Asura did catch the head. He's going to not be able to control the spray. Finally gets Under. First one wasn't good enough. Some help from Too Hard there. Good reaction time from Asura, though, to recognize that and back right off and not overcommit around the corner. Sungjang going to go down to way less, as it looks like Entis could be going down here relatively soon.
4AM on the push, but Griffin is willing to dish out more kills. Tian Tian being knocked out, Z9 Max returned to favor Asura being knocked and dusted, but Minsung finds a great angle onto Z9 Max. Easy knock. That leaves just a single 2 members alive for Tiamba. That's going to be Lurena. That's going to be a single member alive. Yes, Minsung gets it, and Hulk from VSG will finish off Tiamba. And now Entis looking over towards to crawl into the faces of Griffin. Kale just crawl walking. Crouch walking, he wants to be quiet, but the 2-tack will spot him out. Now being prone, Kale is stuck, and Too Hard will punish him for that.
Out is Entis. Looks like they are going to finish in 4th place. A fantastic tournament, but as we always say, Bench, they're OGN Entis 4th, and once again, the prophecy comes true. Now Griffin has to square off against 4AM. Griffin just has to go for kills. They have to push this. So that is 1. 2-tap gonna take ZGG down nice and quick. Let's see if they can get another here as 4AM dug in inside of their compound. Not going to allow much room for Griffin to breathe just yet. Forever on top of the house. Shots ringing through, nothing connecting. ZGG still down but not out. Way less up front for 4AM, and Griffin needs to get these points quick.
Too Hard needs to flash in the face, but 2-Tab is gonna go for the spray down. Not gonna connect Wayless on the flank. He might be able to catch 2 Hard off guard. This is big for Wayless. He's waiting. 2 Hard is not aware. Right behind him is gonna be Wayless. He opens up, and that's 2 Hard down and knocked. Zivi comes around though. He's trying to put down 4AM forever. Down super low HP. 2-Tab now trying to push into Wayless, but Wayless already rotated out and back into his teammates. And now 2-Tab and Minsung, the last 2 members for Griffin. Infantry is just smiling at all these kill feeds happening.
Absolutely, Infantry is just content to sit in the Wizard House and let this one play out. Wayless looking to see if he can finish Griffin's day. 2-Tap and Minsung underneath him. He's already got the star for Griffin. 2 Hard out. 2-Tap making a mad dash towards the bottom of the hill. They're going to swing into the Dacia. Take a little bit of blue, but not much. VSG underneath. VSG shooting at GEX. GEX coming at GEX under a lot of pressure, a lot of fire. Griffin just trying to get center circle. Maybe hope to get the win. Maybe go for second place at this point. Sliding right up next to GEX. What in the world are they doing? Minsung one. Minsung looking for the other. Cannot get it. It is Leo still up. 2-Tap diving away from the grenades, and one right next to him doesn't get the knock. So close. 2-Tap still alive.
2-Tap, final member for Griffin. He's in the smoke, and he can easily pull that medkit off, but one more he could do as a single member. That nade will chunk him down to 1 HP. That was very close. I don't think there's a second nade coming through, so he's fine for now. In the meantime, Quadro, Yowok's going to be sitting by that compound, that little concrete So he's going to be fine for now, but Infantry is just smiling in this circle is even better for Infantry as Quadro has to move into this one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yoa can't do enough by himself. There just isn't 13 kills. I love Yoa to death, but no way. There's just no way. It just can't happen. 2Tap trying to hold on. VSG now wants to get any points they can to climb to the leaderboard. They have a chance to leapfrog ahead of Element 36, Genji, potentially even Luminous Stars, as 2Tap waits in the smoke, hearing all of the shooting around him, but Wicked sprays into the smoke knowing he was there, finishes him off, and that is going to be the end of the day for Griffin right now, sitting in 3rd place, and I believe that is it, because I believe Quadro has the kill advantage over them. Yoa continues to prune out any points he can.
And now, because Yoke is alive, Quadro might be able to hold onto that 2nd place. Infantry, though, securing that #1 spot now. There's only 16 players in the lobby, and you need 14 kills. For Quadro, Yoke to pick off all 14 kills, I don't know. There's a chance, but it's like a chance of getting a lottery.
I think it's about that. I think you're absolutely right. The chances of doing this is like winning the Powerball jackpot. It's going to take something absolutely insane from Yowook, as he is honestly just playing for 2nd place. He's just trying to hold on, get the placement points, as many as he can for his team. And no, it's going to be crazy. Sets him down. Infantry now on top of the hill. They're going to prone down, throw some smokes, survive. At this point, it's all gravy for Infantry. The grenades are up and over on top of 4AM. Lots of smokes coming down. 4AM's Wayless takes a whole bunch of damage. Longsker trying to finish it. It's going to be some shots putting him back.
God.
What a grenade from Longsker. My goodness, this guy is going to end up being your MVP, it looks like. He is absolutely insane. 4AM out of this one. Only 4 teams remain.
Longsker with that nade just secured the game. I mean, it was secure a long time ago when Quadro couldn't fully send their teammate to the Wizard Hut. But even worse, Longsker just gets another kill in the backpack. All-Stars, Carl knocking out Boliang. Now Longsker, last member alive. Hulk from behind will finish him off as 4th for Infantry. But 182 points and any other placement points, Infantry has the win.
Absolutely they do. Let's finish this game off before we give them the trophy that they so well deserve. VSG heading towards LYG. Still 4 up for VSG. Still a chance for them to leapfrog some teams in the standings. LYG the same situation. Luminous Stars Gaming the same. All of these teams playing for something. Maps takes a bunch of damage. First aid is up. Molly in front of his face, going to force him off to his right. Migo trying to push up a little bit forward, checking the smokes, seeing if anybody's going to try to push through. VSG, though, has the circle on the southern side if they so choose. Right now, I think they're just trying to bully LYG, seeing if they can catch them making a mistake, keep them from coming down the hill, potentially, and allowing this southern rotation for VSG to happen.
All-Stars' position is just too supreme, and they also hold on to a compound, so looks like All-Stars might be able to catch onto this unless LYG decides to push onto them rather than holding onto VSG. Let's see what happens. Hulk pops up a nade. If that thing lands anywhere close to Crazy 112, that could open things up. Maps might be eating just a little bit of damage. Misses that nade, unfortunately, but now he has to move. The blue is right behind his back. VSG all on the push, and Maps could act as an anchor. That flashbang is going to pop in the faces of Wicked and Hulk to stop that. In the meantime, Monster putting Maps down to super low HP.
Oh, Luminous Stars ruined the chance for LYG with those beautiful stuns. It's going to keep them at bay. Wicked comes up over the L1. Crazy 112 down. Looking for another. It's going to be Mental. Wicked finishes one off. Mental is traded out by Maps. But let's see if VSG can finish off LYG. Not just yet. Looking for that last member. It is going to be WNB who takes Maps out. LYG in 3rd. A 3v, potentially 3. Yes, indeed. Mental does go down here. Good shooting from Carl. Puts Hulk down nice and fast. You can see the backside of Wicked. Wicked running through. Wicked gets the first aid. Prone's down. Carl still has this building. Still has a vantage point. You can even see Foxy down there.
Let's see. Carl takes a headshot, and he's going to be taken down to 18. So he's going to have to prone and get back and get up the health back up with the medkit. Now Foxy, a little bit more confident after landing that aim. Looks like VSG should be able to take the res back onto their down teammate. That's going to be Hulk back up. Hulk is scary with that SLR in his hand, but L-Stars is controlling onto the center, and VSG has to move into this. I don't know how many smokes they have, but if they are able to put out a smoke chain to the center, L-Stars might be in a little bit of trouble.
The center of this circle is almost right in L-Star's building. Now, great movement here by Foxy to sneak up underneath the hills so far. Carl hasn't looked out that direction just yet, and the further in Foxy can get, the better for VSG. We've seen them be excellent close range. They're good at pushing compounds. They don't have mental. They're specialists for it. But Wicked, Hulk, Foxy, all incredible, capable players in their own right. Monsters, underhanding. Will that catch Hulk? Bounces just short of Hulk.
Hulk just grateful that Nate didn't hurt him bad. Looks like Wicked is going to be flanking towards the side, as most of All-Stars is going to be wary about Foxy right below his feet, and Hulk as well. Monsters doesn't want to peek out, as he knows any moment he peeks out, the headshot may come through, and that might put things down for All-Stars. They need those points to climb the leaderboard.
All right, All-Stars looking around the angles, holding the corners of their house. More grenades, doing a little bit of damage this go around. Wicked hurting. Molotov out. Still 5 smokes in there as well. Oh, Hulk was putting his first aid out. That's going to allow the back of that Molly to catch him. Oh, and this is Luminous Stars. They're looking quite strong right now. Flanking out around the side is Carl and WNB. Up over the top is Monsters. A 2-for on that spray. He almost finishes the job. Foxy with 1 HP. No way. Luminous Stars takes the final game of the day with 12 kills. Where will that put them in the final standings? We wait to see. But guys, check this out. Your champions for the 2020 PCS1 Asia event. It is going to be Infantry taking it all.
Congratulations to Infantry. Their PCS Asia Charity Showdown, it was unfortunate, but finally in PCS1 Asia, the bigger and real tournament, here is your champion. Celebrating with some popped champagnes.
Heck yes, well-deserved, strong, consistent play throughout this entire one. $80,000. They even have the check over there waiting and ready, although you can't cash that one at the banks. We tried with the oversized ones. It doesn't work. If you guys remember the Conan O'Brien sketch, he actually tried to cash one of those one time. Doesn't work. Congratulations to them. Another major win for China here in Asia. Back-to-back for them, usurping Korea's dominance from last year.
Longsker, when we know he's back in the roster, we had a feeling that Infantry was going to pop off, but not a win. In the end, after day number 1, we had a feeling that other teammates were popping out. Nine started getting kills. Bo Liang started doing really well. Jiao Yang as well, too. Like, specifically for Jiao Yang, like, we never really see him pop off, but this guy, he starts getting kills. And at that moment, with Longsker added back on the roster, we were quite confident. I was quite confident that Infantry will make this one happen.
100%. A great pick, a team that I wrestled around with in my mind for potentially winning this, of course. Longsker and Nine were absolutely nuts. I mean, between them, at least 70 kills, because they had that many coming into that final game. Just perpetually great stuff from them throughout this tournament. They, like you said, they started off the game number 1. They finish number 1. Love to see it. Longsker continues to be incredible. Those of you that have watched the China region know that this guy is the best player in China, pretty much hands down. And he has shown why. He has brought his team to a victory. And I think you made another great point that during the charity showdown, they missed him, man. And it was clear that it wasn't the same Infantry we saw there. They get Longsker back and everything changes and they win. And they win a bunch of money.
But that's going to be Infantry taking the first spot. And now, one thing we have to know about that we're curious about is who's stealing the second spot. Is it going to be Quadro or is it going to be Griffin?
Right. It was close there at the end. We didn't really keep too much track of it. I was very focused on so many other things going on. I'm really curious to see where teams like Luminous Stars ended up after that win. How far ahead did they jump? Did they jump ahead of Tianba? Tianba was way up there as well. Guys, remember, we would be remiss if we didn't mention this, as I saw a bunch of our EU boys in chat giving us some love. They're coming up soon, guys, not too long from now. I believe it is in just a couple hours. It is going to be PCS1 Europe, the finals. You don't want to miss that. The standings are super tight, super close there. What a tournament that has been so far. Loving what I'm seeing out of the European region. You guys really stick around. You want to see that. Okay. We are done, though. My producer is giving me the sign that is the end. I could talk all day, but I don't want to. We got to go. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. This was a wonderful tournament. Once again, congratulations to Infantry. You guys are nuts. Great tournament all around. So that's going to do it for us. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.